Muy buenas, mis queridos mancos, bienvenidos otra vez, después de un ratito de reflexión y tranquilidad. Me estoy escuchando doble, loquísima me estoy quedando, loquísima. Cállate, cállate, maldita sea, cállate. Vale, ahora sí, vuelvo a empezar. Hola a todos mis queridos mancos, bienvenidos otra vez a estas retransmisiones o estas, no sé cómo se dice. A estos directos referentes al E3 hemos estado hace un rato con lo de Netflix, que nos ha volado a todo el mundo la cabeza. Y nada, pues ahora toca el evento de Koch Media, que quedan escasos 3 minutitos para que empiece. No sé lo que van a enseñar, no tengo ni idea de nada. Aquí yo vengo a lo que haya. Simple y llanamente. A ver. No, automática, ¿no? ¿Opiniones sobre la nueva Chun-Li que ahora es africana y rubia? Hola, Sisi, ¿qué tal? Has venido juguetón, ¿eh? Me resulta, sinceramente, ahora mismo indiferente. No sé por qué cojones la emisión me va tan mal. El puto buffer de los cojones. O sea, me baja a 360. No, pues ponte a 720 por lo menos. Que esto se vea bien. Pero debo decir, Sisi, que la Chun-Li de la peli de Street... Perdón, de la peli de Street Fighter, la leyenda de Chun-Li, me parece una gran Chun-Li. Físicamente no sea una Chun-Li, pero ahí... Perfecto. Pero ahí en el guión, la historia y la esencia, ahí estaba Street Fighter. Es que no va vestida igual, es que no sé qué... Chorradas. Vale, queda escaso minuto y medio. Correcto, la actriz de Smallville. Otro bonito universo alternativo, ¿verdad? Tengo memorias borrosas de eso. Qué malo eres. Muy buenas, Darko. ¿Qué haces aquí? Si tú estás con Abraham en el otro lado. Jodido. No, no, tengo que beber porque tengo un trauma ahora mismo, hijo mío. Tengo un trauma que no me lo quito yo, vamos, ni con alcohol ahora mismo. Madre mía. Si es que, si lo llego a saber... Venga, Darko, gracias. Saluda a Abraham de mi parte también, que vaya bien. Pues nada, 45 segunditos quedan. Y eso, vamos a ver ahora un poco para desconectar. Vamos a tener a utilizar este evento para desconectar después del disgusto de hace un rato, ¿vale? De todas formas, si queréis recordar. Qué jodido. Si queréis recordar mi cara o mi esto en el momento en el que he visto cuando han enseñado el casting, lo tenéis subido ya a YouTube, que he tenido este ratito para ahí recortarlo y subirlo. Que ha sido digno de ver. 3, 2, 1, vamos allá. Voy a poner la música y tal, ¿no?
Hello there, guys. My name is Opal Cadman, and welcome.
Hola, buenas.
Today, I have 3 main tasks. The first one is to introduce you to Koch Media's brand new premium gaming label. Number 2 is to take a deep dive into some of the games coming to that label. And finally, number 3 is to show you what the new label will be getting up to in the streaming world.
Vale.
I want to welcome streamers who are co-streaming this today. Hello.
Hola.
Some of you guys are guys who I have looked up to and watched for many years. And speaking of people who I've looked up to for many years, I am so proud to introduce Jeff Keighley, who
Joder.
will be helping me co-host
No sé quién es ese señor.
this entire list of
Este
games.
señor es Dios ahora
Jeff,
mismo. Está en todos
how's
los
it
lados,
going?
hasta la
Thanks, Opal.
sopa.
It is so great to be here with you for the first ever live stream from Prime Matter. I was
Madre
honored
mía.
yesterday to reveal the label to the world at the Summer Game Fest. kickoff event. And wow, you've got a lot of games there in that sizzle, over a dozen games. So I know today you're going to go a little bit more in depth to talk about all these games, to talk to a lot of the developers. But for those of you that might have missed it yesterday or just want to see it again, let's kick things off with a look at that announcement sizzle reel for Prime Matter.
Tiene un batarán porque queda chulo ahí detrás. Me estoy quedando sorda.
Sometimes I ask myself what it all means.
Let's begin.
Está muy alto, ¿no? Voy a bajar un poco esto. Ahí igual mejor. El vídeo loco de ayer, eso es este mismo. Está bajado. Yo es que si me subo más peto, básicamente. Si no, lo que voy a hacer es bajarlo directamente de aquí. Y ya está.
Is that who you are?
My purpose makes me who I am.
Eso es ugly.
I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile.
Being relied on to succeed where
¿Qué
others
tal,
would
Pepodrón? Yo creo que el nuevo Pokémon, eso ya será el domingo en el Nintendo Direct. Pero no lo descartes. Elden Ring fue ayer.
Yes, guys, you just saw 12 games and counting. And that's just the start for Prime Matter. But before we get into these incredible games, what I like to call the juicy bits, I want to talk to you about what Prime Matter is and who we are. Prime Matter is the new premium gaming label of Koch Media. It dedicates itself to delivering a range of immersive and diverse games
¿Verdad que sí?
from amazing development talent all around the globe. It highlights the varied influences of global studios and their different approaches to game making.
Y hablo súper
The new
bien
label will
en
lead
inglés
for
ahora.
creativity and expression, with games that enthrall players with larger-than-life storytelling, create incredible moments, and above all, they're fun. The team behind Prime Matter is a melting pot of incredible talent, led by seasoned industry veterans and complemented by a young, fresh, dynamic team of multicultural gaming experts. The team behind are gamers at
Coming up,
heart,
Painkiller, muy
working
bien.
with such a wide range of passionate developers producing games together by gamers for gamers. And that being said, for all you keen-eyed individuals out there, you would have seen that one game was actually missing in our 12-game lineup for Prime Matter during the video. That is a game that comes from the Embracer family itself. Jeff got to sit down with Todd Hollinshead and talk all about Painkiller.
All right, you saw the news yesterday. Yes, there is a new Painkiller coming, and Todd is joining me now to maybe give us a few more details. I know this is kind of a fresh project for the team at Saber, and you guys, first of all, I love that you and Tim Willits are there, continuing to build out
Este salió
Saber.
ayer también.
And Painkiller was a franchise.
Tengo un déjà vu.
You and I are both OG. We remember it was it probably 15 years ago at this point?
Yeah, it's been a while. Closer to two decades than one.
My God. All right. Well, but it's one of those classic games. Let me ask you, from a Prime Matter perspective, you've been in the industry like me all those years, and we remember that game. Why was this a franchise that you guys wanted to sort of...
Es que
bring
falta
back?
Paco, si no lo aviso no viene.
Well, Painkiller, when I played it back in the early 2000s, this was a game that had, it
no
was
lo viste.
dark,
Bueno,
a little
no pasa nada.
twisted, intense, cool guns. These are the things that, kind of hit the nail on the head.
Pero
of what
básicamente
is being
terminaron
a video game.
el Summer Game
Both as,
Festival
as a fan,
con
and then also as a publisher. It's
Con el pedazo de tráiler del Elden Ring.
we're hoping to capture those same sort of
Y
elements and
básicamente
bring those
ayer
into
internet estaba dividida
Yeah,
entre
you guys
el
are
tráiler
certainly
del Elden Ring
masters of doing,
y el tráiler de
cheers
Masters del
from, all
Universo,
your time at
el de
id.
He-Man.
Painkiller, does have a lot of that DNA of, fast-paced action with a little bit of a twist to it.
Así que bueno.
And, the fact you guys are working with Prime Matter is also exciting. Brand new publisher, brand new label. What do you think of the fact that they're doing this label and it's such a diverse lineup?
Sí, ayer anunciaron el Master of the
companies
Universe,
and
eso
partners
es.
around
El de
it.
la serie de Netflix de
I
animación.
know you guys work with a lot of publishers, but it's pretty exciting to see a new label announced. That doesn't happen every day.
No, it doesn't. And I think that within the Embracer Group, it's just a business that is growing. We've got great leadership at the top, and so Koch Media is.
Es que esa
one of the
mitad
things
son
they're
millennials.
publishing, and I think that the name they chose, Prime
Básicamente.
Matter, sort of is. It's sort of like the primordial soup of putting together stuff from nothing. So, it kind of makes me think of this is what we do when we make video games. You sort of start with bits of zero
El tráiler de He-Man está muy chulo.
make a game. So I feel like that, that kind of resonates with hopefully the type of experiences that we're going to be providing, not just within Prime Matter and working with them.
Joder, esto
between Saber and our
promete
partnership,
ser...
but across the Embracer Group as well.
Yeah, no, it sounds like they have a lot of games in development, but the fact that you are bringing back Painkiller is really exciting. And I know, fans, of course, want to know a little bit about, what's the game going to look, how's it going to play. Probably can't share a lot of details about it, but you're kind of in the early stages of development now on this?
Yeah, super early. And,
Empieza a pensar que este tío se ha dosificado en...
assassinated for back
El
home once it
Kojimán
got back to
salió
the
ayer.
developer, because all these the first stuff that comes out almost always gets
Salió ayer
iterated on and
para
changed,
presentar el
and so
Director's
we're trying to
Cut del
keep,
Death
trying to keep the
Stranding
lid on
para
the
PlayStation
details until
5.
we have
Y
something
se hizo
that's
en
gonna be
plan
really awesome to show.
All right, well,
un
we'll be
tráiler
waiting
a
for
lo
it,
Metal
and,
Gear
with
Solid.
you
Es como...
involved, it's going to be something very special, fast-paced action, I have no doubt. So,
Y luego todo el
new
mundo decía
Painkiller
que iban a anunciar
coming
Silent
soon
Hill.
from the team at Saber, published by Prime Matter. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Jeff.
I really
No sé de qué han
can't
hablado,
wait to
no
hear
estaba
more
escuchando
about
y
Painkiller
me
and the
trae
fact
al
that
pairo.
Todd and Tim and the team at Saber are working on it.
En el
I think
tráiler
we're gonna
de
get something
He-Man.
pretty special when they are ready to share more.
Sería mancillar He-Man si metes a Kojimán.
Exciting stuff in that sizzle reel, Painkiller, Payday, but I know there's a lot more we're here to talk about today as well, right, Opal?
Actually, Prime Matter has 12 games under development right at this minute. We're so excited.
Querida, no te
to show
muevas
you
tanto
guys
que
what our
se
team
te
of
está
developers have been
moviendo
up to. However, before you see some of the content that we show you today,
el
I
decorado.
do have to make it clear that some of this is pre-alpha, alpha, high-level concept, and some of it is about to release right around the corner. So please keep that in mind when you're viewing today's show. That being said, how do you guys feel about a psychedelic third-person survival horror game set on what
Que
it
tienes toda
means
mi
to go
atención,
on a
morena.
journey about self-enlightenment and what happens when it all goes wrong? I got to speak with the developers of The Chant, work in progress title, about their game and who they are.
Our game is about a group of people who go to a spiritual retreat to seek enlightenment, and they basically get a little more than they bargained for. And your character has to deal with her own personal issues as well as the
Pero no han dicho el juego,
cosmic
creo.
terrors that become awakened.
Cool. So, what type of genre is this game?
And it's a bit hard to pin down with the with all the different influences and styles of gameplay, but I'd say we're probably a survival action horror game.
Okay. Cool. And what was the thinking behind that genre? Is it something that you guys like, or is it just it came left field? What's your decision behind that?
Personally, we always wanted to make a horror game. A big part of our core team have a background in third-person sandbox games. And we really wanted to combine, action mechanics, deep storytelling, and we felt that the horror genre was a really exciting space to take that background and play around with.
Sí, vale.
So, kind of sticking with the horror genre, Why did you decide to go with that theme? It's not really like
Si estuviera aquí Paco,
normally what
me
you would
diría qué
see,
acento tiene.
this whole spiritual awakening thing. So what was the idea behind that?
We thought it was
No
just
lo
kind of
sé,
an
creo que es el logo de su
interesting,
estudio, pero
territory to explore.
igual es
there is
un bitcoiner de esos.
there's a lot of influence from that with like folk horror of the 70s
La pregunta es,
and
después de
giallo
toda
horror and so
esta
forth that really inspired us more from a film
parrafada
standpoint.
de que el tío te está
taking
vendiendo
that
así
kind
un
of
juego y tal,
aesthetic,
¿enseñaron
something that
algo
was
y
very
dieran título?
sensational, very colorful, and mixing it in with kind of more action-oriented and exploratory game mechanics, we felt was a fresh take on the horror space.
So, kind of speaking about your inspirations and stuff, what video games, real life media has inspired you to create this title?
Well, going way back when Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time.
Entonces el juego va a ser muy bueno.
Eternal Darkness. So a lot of games are very inspirational to us. Our game actually started off as a game with fixed camera angles.
No lo quería decir, pero parece que la han maquillado con la pistola de maquillaje de Homer.
Over the course of development, just especially really focusing on bringing more of an action element to it. We've since switched to an over-the-shoulder camera and haven't looked back.
So kind of talking about changes and what you guys are doing on the development side, how close is the game to like the original concept? I understand you guys are still developing the game's quite far out, but from your original concept to where the game is now, how much has that differed?
The core story and I'd say the aesthetic and the themes, those all remain intact. I'd say our gameplay, as our team size grew, we added deeper mechanics. I'd say more action to the game. Our game actually has a fair amount of combat in it, especially on the melee
Es que es para hacer esto un poco más
side.
ameno, que es un poco aburrido.
In our original concept.
Lo siento.
A lot of those things are just kind of based on, we're a very small team at first. We're still a relatively small team, but every new person that joins, brings something new to the mix. So I'd say on that end, the game has evolved in scope and depth of gameplay.
Awesome. Kind of sticking on that point of, you got a small team, there's a lot of challenges that comes with that. What was the hardest part of making the game so far?
The hardest part
es que ya no me voy a meter con el peinado, pero
también
es bastante horrible.
Has,
los rizos esos y con el rizador en plan a toda leche y mucha laca.
So, for us, we had to be very strategic.
Qué malas personas somos de verdad,
we wouldn't been able to build this game without utilizing an engine like Unreal. Previously, we had worked on more proprietary technology. And that's also great because new people that join the team can get up and running on the engine quite quickly. In addition to that, we've been using photogrammetry from the start for both our environments. All of our characters are also scanned actors, and we're using, also tapping into a lot of what's going on in our city. Vancouver has a pretty big film industry, so really tapping into the film and the effects industry and tapping into that area of expertise.
Bueno, a ver.
To,
hay pasta invertida.
Porque
hay...
So you've mentioned like experience in the
past hay tecnología
and also
invertida.
Kind of how rich Vancouver is. How much does that come in handy when you're working on the game?
Oh, it's been extremely beneficial. Vancouver, is home to a lot of AAA studios. A large portion of us work together at Rockstar and United Front Games, and we also have people who have worked at the Coalition and EA, as well as some smaller independent studios as well. And in addition to that, having the film industry here, where we can utilize local talent. We're working with union actors. We're scanning actors as well that we're using for our characters, and we're actually currently auditioning a couple remaining characters for the game, and as well as doing the finishing touches on our new motion capture studio. So we're going to be doing
este juego está en bragas.
Cinematics.
Este juego está en bragas. Están haciendo casting todavía.
place to be right now.
Awesome. Sounds great. In terms of exciting things, when it comes to this game, what are you most proud of at the minute where you are?
Ya vienen otros vendiendo humo.
The thing I'm the most proud
No
of
me joden estas
is
cosas.
just what a
Espérate un
small,
añito
focused
y me
team
enseñas
can do
un
when they're
teaser
all, you know,
y quedas
sharing
como
the
Dios.
same goal and vision. You know,
No es
we-
como no
as
tenemos
I said
nada
earlier,
y
we-
bueno, vengo aquí
you
a
know,
hablar
we
de
come
humo.
from,
Y así llenamos
different
paja,
backgrounds,
llenamos
but
espacio
everyone's
con
managed to
paja.
come together and really deliver an amazing amount of work for the team size we have. And yeah, it's really exciting to be working on a smaller team again, and you know, just having that kind of energy where you know, you're working with everyone on the team day to day.
Yeah, I imagine that is a lot different to probably what some of you are used to coming from those massive studios. So finally, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch and also, you know, being featured on their brand new label?
It's truly an exciting place to be. We've been kind of pushing our game as far as we could, and this partnership is really helping to provide more reach and more resources, but I think most importantly also just having a partnership on getting feedback and helping to really expand and push the vision of the game.
Si fueran charlas cortas, ya te
We've
digo, si
already
fueran charlas
received a lot
cortas,
of
no
feedback
estaban, pero
on the
es que esto
title, and
es...
being a small team, we're often in our
madre
own
mía.
little echo chamber, and you know, even in a short period of time, we've been able to
Bueno,
act
parece
on a lot of the
que el vídeo de
feedback,
YouTube de mi
and the
reacción
game has improved
al casting de
considerably
Resident Evil
since then.
está teniendo
Well, Mike,
bastante...
thank you so much for your time.
Oh,
It's been awesome to
gracias.
talk to you and find out a little bit more about what you guys are going to be offering for the new label. And I can't wait to let gamers finally get their hands on the content. So thank you for your time.
From psychedelic horrors to internet rumors, our next developer created the huge open world of Bohemia and took us on an adventure through the Holy Roman Empire. However, there have been some leaks that this action RPG may have a home on the Switch. Opal sat down with Warhorse Studios to try and get to the bottom of this.
Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Switch. That is quite some news.
Yes, that's true. Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
A
And as you
tomar
said,
por
it's about
culo, el
gamers,
Kingdom
devs,
Come
and
el
games.
Kingdom
In
Come
our case,
Deliverance.
or in this case, actually gamers play an integral
Que es una
part in the
bestia
story.
parda de juego.
Well, some kind of confusion happened
Lo van a
in the end
¿Lo
of
van a
last
meter en
year.
Switch?
We Warhorse Studios were preparing the release of the Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition on PlayStation and Xbox, but someone most likely ticked the wrong box in Japan, and it looked like it's going to be released on Switch as well. Of course, by that time there was nothing existing like that. We were not even thinking about the possibility that Kingdom Come Deliverance could go on the Switch. However, Nintendo
técnicamente es
Japan
bastante
took
complicado.
this information, some Japanese media, and then the snowball started rolling. All of a sudden it was the talk of the day. Kingdom Come Deliverance is releasing on the Switch, but as I said, nothing like that was planned at all, and we didn't even think about that.
Las
Now,
cosas pasan por
a few
casualidad,
months
¿verdad?
back, and we think it was still somehow cursing around in the Nintendo database. Nintendo of Spain posted a picture on Twitter where they had different pictures of open world games, and they were promoting already existing open world games on the Nintendo store. And if you clicked on the picture, actually there was nothing like Kingdom Come Deliverance, of course not, because as I said, nothing like that is existing. However, again, it created confusion. People were talking about it again, like, okay, so is it coming, is it not coming? But for us, actually, and as I said, we didn't think about that until that time. For us, we started to think there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of buzz, people are actually talking about us, reaching out to us, like they seem to want Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Nintendo Switch. So we started to think, and since we are already in the Koch Media family, or the Embracer family, and there's a lot of talented studios,
Este es
so is
alemán.
Saber Interactive,
Hola, Koch
and
Media.
who but them would be actually capable of bringing the Kingdom Come Deliverance version on the Switch. So we sat together, and now we are here talking about the Nintendo Switch version on Kingdom Come.
So what you're saying is that a community of gamers made this happen?
More or less, yes. The community feedback we got, of course, was a big drive for this entire project.
Ya, pero es
But
que la gente...
this comes from our
Switch
general
Pro, que no,
background.
hombre, que no.
So think of the
You know.
Kickstarter project we had in the day. So without the community, there wouldn't be any Warhorse Studios or any Kingdom Come Deliverance. So we always try to be very
Es
close
que
to
yo
them
sigo
and working
flipando.
together with
Se
them,
puede meter
and even coming up with crazy ideas together with them.
bestias
so,
pardas.
For instance, the Savior Schnapps,
Como el
our own
Doom,
liquor we
como-
created later,
como el de Witcher
was
3,
actually a community idea.
como el
We
Kingdom
have our
Come
own beer
Deliverance.
brand. We recently
Pero luego no se pueden
released,
meter los Resident Evil.
a blue brick set, like a building set for Kingdom Come
Y
Deliverance.
hay que meterlos
buildings.
vía cloud.
And now one of the latest projects is the Kingdom Come Deliverance soap bar, which should give you the real medieval smell.
A
In
tomar
that
por
case,
culo.
I
O sea,
must
ya
say,
te venden
it actually
jabones y
medieval
todo.
smells actually pretty well. And we are coming up with crazy stuff like that all the time. Our next new merchandise project is a Farkle boxed board game, kind of. So Farkle, for those who don't know, that's like this Kingdom Come Deliverance minigame, a dice minigame you can play in the game. And now with Griffon Studios, we are coming up with a boxed version you can get and play Farkle at home against your friends or against your family or whatever. So that's pretty cool if you ask me. But generally, if you're interested in these kind of stuff, just check the Warhorse Studios social media accounts. You get all
Cantidad
the
de
information you need
juegos
there.
en...
Ooh, my favorite.
En
Soapy
el-
hot news. Speaking of soapy hot news, how do you feel about Warhorse being under the new label Prime Matter?
It's a huge honor, of course. We were working together with Koch for over 4 years already. In 2019, we then even became part of the entire Embracer family. So that was a big thing. And now being able to be
Es que estaba diciendo que hay
take
mogollón de
part at the
juegos
beginning of
dentro de
something new,
los
be
propios
there
juegos
when there's a new
que al final
label
acaban
being created,
siendo...
that is a big thing for us.
Eh,
And especially if you consider that we come there as an established partner
Pues eso,
already, that is
un
really
juego
cool. And
real.
we're looking forward to a bright future.
Thank you very much, Toby. We cannot see what Warhorse has got cooking. However, until that time, Toby, goodbye!
So are we. Thank you very much and see you.
From internet rumors back to reality, we will have more on Kingdom Come Deliverance for Switch as we get it.
All right, let's move from RPGs to FPS games. Final Form, which is a working title, is an action-packed sci-fi adventure where you play the role of a humanoid avatar of a sentient spaceship sent on a mission to the edge of the known universe to battle an unstoppable plague. The game is still a long ways from completion, but here's a very quick peek at what's in store.
Como se nota que estaba leyendo, Final Form. Vale.
Hi, we are Raycon Games, and what you have just seen is the first glimpse of our upcoming game codenamed Final Form.
Final Form is an action-packed, epic sci-fi FPS in which you are a female-formed humanoid machine on a space mission with no return.
At the heart of the game is a mystery and alien worlds to explore, but also an adrenaline-fueled combat. In Final Form, it's all about the freedom and power of movement, being a machine unrestrained by human weaknesses. There are numerous abilities and gadgets that come with your robotic body, so you can give yourself away to the
Mola.
fantasy of becoming an unstoppable cybernetic goddess blazing away in a spectacular ballet of destruction.
No, se me cago en todo.
Raycon is located in Warsaw, Poland, with additional team members
Son
located all
polacos.
over the world.
¿Cuántos
The studio was
estudios
founded and is
polacos hay
managed
de
entirely by
videojuegos?
game
Estoy
developers.
flipando.
Since the success of Ruiner, we've grown quite substantially. Currently, Raycon is over 50 brilliant game creators, and counting. We are not
Es
a
que están
huge
CD
team,
Projekt,
but what we love to
Bloober,
do is to
estos.
evolve together with our
Creo que hay
projects,
alguno más por ahí.
constantly finding smarter, and better ways to achieve something truly unique. We build our work environment just like we make games,
lo poco que están
aiming for the
enseñando,
best
que no están
results
enseñando nada.
and personal fulfillment. We strongly believe that the well-being of team members needs to be taken care of first, before we can pour all of that love into a game. The partnership with Koch Media has been very fruitful and inspiring. We're happy to be in the avant-garde of the upcoming new label. We're looking forward to share more on Final Form in the future. And in the meantime, please enjoy the rest of the show and see you around.
Vale, pues venga, siguiente. Siempre,
I
todo el
have to
rato.
say, guys, I love the soundtrack from Final Form. Moving on to our next game, which is just as special. What if you took Lovecraftian and Gagaris themes and mixed it all together with hardcore RPG elements? That's exactly what Massive Works Studios are doing. I got to sit down with their CTO to talk about their game, Dolmen.
Vale. He escuchado como que tiene rollo Lovecraft y espacial. ¿Un Cthulhu robótico? Visualmente es bonito,
Let's speak now to Gabriel Ferreira, CTO of Massive Works Studios, who joins us now from Campinas near Sao Paulo in the southeast of Brazil. So, Gabriel, what is Dolmen about?
Es Gabriel Herrera. Gabriel Neves Ferreira. Joder, de lo que ha dicho a lo que es.
Dolmen is that kind of a game that where the hero needs to save everyone from an alien threat. Fighting with all kinds of monsters and struggling to keep going forward. Yeah, that's the kind of game that Dolmen is not about. In this game, you actually save the drillers, which is the alien species that live on that planet, but you're going there to help a company save its investment. So you're not really the nice guy that's trying to save everyone. It's just a job. But we hope that the players consider the humanity, the greed, the war, and the spares and the challenges that come to mind along with that job. Taking all that part, and yes, Dolmen is also about fighting all kinds of monsters and struggling.
Yeah,
After all, it is a hard game. It's a hardcore game. It's inspired on Souls-like. So
Uy, madre.
yes, you're going to die a lot.
Vale, siguiente.
Awesome. Thank you. So, when thinking about the name
Un
Dolmen,
shooter rollo
obviously you guys
Souls-like,
went that
con
for-
extraterrestres.
went for that
Venga,
for like
está
a very
ready.
specific reason. What's the thinking behind the name? Why did you go for Dolmen?
So there was many things that came to our mind when describing the name of the game. Dolmen, which means a single chamber tomb, a megalithic tomb. We thought it would be a good word to describe this stone, this crystal that we have that is related to that. In many ways, everyone that deals with this crystal in the game is close to bringing problems to everyone that is around. And we wanted this to be the main piece of the game.
Cool. Awesome. And now I know that people may or may not have heard of Dolmen before, so it is already out there in the world. But how long has it taken to get to this point?
Oh, it's been a long journey since the beginning of the
Es que
project.
tiene rollo de que estos empezaron por
Late
Kickstarter o por
2016,
alguna cosa de
so
estas.
it's been almost 5 years now, and probably just a bit more till it come out. But we and about our journey, if it wasn't the support that we had since the beginning, either our community, the Kickstarters, and you guys, I believe we would not be here right now.
Lovely. How have you been inspired by other games? You mentioned like the Souls-like obviously inspires it. You know, are there other games that inspire you? And also, what games do the teams like?
First of all, regarding inspirations, a lot of games came to us when we were producing the game and when we were first thinking of it. Obviously, we are really passionate and we really love Souls-like games, so Bloodborne, Dark Souls. Those games were our main inspirations. But we drew.
O sea, Sekiro no? Pues yo no tan junto. Sekiro es el que más mola de todos
we
los
had
From Software.
inspirations in Dead Space, in Mass Effect, and
Es que,
also not only inspirations in other games, but also inspirations in movies and Lovecraftian stories. For example,
no puedes tener
and those were our main
una referencia para el
About
juego de
games
Dead
that we
Space,
most like
que es
and
Survival
games that
Horror,
our team,
y
likes.
luego hacerlo un
It's really
Souls-like.
hard to say because we
Lo
have
siento, pero me explota la
a team
cabeza.
that ranges from liking Dota to CS and Souls-like games. But what I can really tell
Lo que
you
podría haber
is
hecho hubiera
that,
sido bajarse un poco el plano,
everyone of our
porque
team is
vemos mucha
passionate
pared
about the project
y poca
because
persona.
They love doing what they do, which is a hardcore game.
Que entiendo que quieres que se vea el póster, pero puedes bajar un poquito el
All
plano.
these inspirations that have come in. So the game is set in a sci-fi universe. Is there any specific reason you decided to go down that route? Was there any other routes that you considered at first?
Yeah. Well, the humans are afraid of what they don't know, and the universe has infinite possibilities. There is always something unknown that we can explore in space. So that sci-fi setting really was something that we could use to throw everything that our insane minds could come with. So we wanted to use the sci-fi as a tool to reach this goal, to present the player a world of unknown that he can fear and he can enjoy it.
No, absolutely. And while we're kind of on the point of humans and Earth, you guys are based in Brazil, which is awesome.
Bueno, os
any
parece
specific
menos
challenges that you
horrible.
faced
No.
during development because of that, or just in general?
Yeah, there were a lot of challenges that we faced along this 5-year journey. We obviously had to adapt our workflow in these late years. So 2020 and 2021 was a really challenge for us. But it was something that we could adapt well, especially because...
Es que luego encima además cuando está haciendo las entrevistas a cuando ha grabado esto, no sé si han utilizado cuántas webcams, porque cada una es en plan unas con un brillo súper saturado, otra con si tuviera luz ahí quemando de la cara, o sea, queda súper raro todo. Voy a estirar el micro.
Finding people that are really capable of helping us to deliver this amazing game, and that's what we gathered, and that's something that our company appreciates the most and really gives value is the people that we work with. They were really incredible people, and they were really rare over here.
Absolutely, that's really cool. Kind of on that theme of development and challenges, given how development and technology often dictates how a game evolves throughout its development, how kind of close are you to the original concept that you guys came up for Dolmen?
Well, there are different point of views on that answer, especially because we started really small. And in the journey of the game, for example, it started as a concept from a few friends that get together and they brainstormed it for months, the game.
Creo que le ha preguntado lo
So
mismo.
it diverged in two senses. And one of them, when we first thought of the game is huge and is insane and has a lot of background on it. It has all this universe around it. So a lot of it has
Que va,
been
no saben de qué
built.
hablar.
So people that love
Es que cuando no tienes nada, tienes que intentar vender humo.
that we are creating, they will have
Y el
a
chaval
lot
lo
of
está
tricks
intentando.
on that side.
Se lo vamos a
But
dar.
the game and from its original concept evolved a lot, especially now
Pero
that we have
vamos,
more
que-
tools at our disposal. So on the tech side, it advanced
De la
way
marinera.
better than we imagined. Back 2016, we didn't have all the resources that we have now. So of course we made some sacrifices here and there and in order to achieve our goal, but we're never happy with satisfied at that point of satisfaction, you know. We want to reach more. At the end of the day, this is also a game and we are having fun, but on top of all, we want to make a brilliant game for the player.
Absolutely.
Sí.
And speaking about like making the game and the development of the game, seeing as you are lead programmer as well, what was the hardest part of making the actual game?
I believe that we could have gone into different options, especially, for example, we could have wanted to make it
No
a game
sabíamos-
that was
no sabíamos
simpler
dónde poner la
or
dificultad
smaller
alta.
or not have that many
En plan,
hours of
hijos de
gameplay.
puta o hijos de
But
la
we
grandísima
decided
puta.
to go to
Esa es la parte más
a
difícil.
hardcore game.
¿Cómo
even though
putear
it's a
al-
first
al
game
jugador?
of our company, so
Porque
we
los juegos son
decided to
para
go
eso.
full in into that challenge.
Que va,
faced
aprendí
a
una
lot of
imagen vale más que mis
challenges,
palabras, claro.
as I mentioned previously, but I believe the hardest part of the game was finding the correct professionals and
Si es que prefería que seguiría el Geoff
focusing
Keighley, que es
on
que
what
te...
we were doing.
Ya me he
and,
acostumbrado a
you know,
él.
keeping yourself focused for 5 years on a single game is something that is challenging for everyone, especially right now. So it was a difficult decision, but we wanted to make that. Regarding programming and as a programmer, there's a lot of that I could keep talking about. What is the harder? Multiplayer is always challenging.
Ya te digo, tío, estaba yo también a punto de
but
pasarme
finding
a
that
por vuestro chat en
balancing
plan, me
fit,
aburro.
so the game that
Estoy con el móvil
is
en la
not
mano,
only
tío, es
fair,
que me da vergüenza y
but
todo.
is hard.
Madre
so
mía.
we wanted to aim hardcore players, so this was really something that.
O sea, y
that
llevamos 3 juegos
So
y
you
no han
mentioned,
presentado
like,
nada.
5
Puto
years
humo.
of development, which is a crazy long time. How have you kept yourself
Y,
motivated? How has the
y uno de
team
ellos
kept
ha sido que,
themselves
no, que un juego que ya ha
I won't
salido
say that
llega a
it
Switch.
was easy,
Guay.
because it wasn't. But
Además, nada más.
I would say that most
Gente
of all, we
hablando.
were always having
Ya
this
está.
these meetings in order to play the game, even now that we are remote.
Sí,
we keep,
sí. Es
getting
súper
up,
productivo. Y seguro que te
every day
entretienes
and
más.
Making a meeting and showcasing what we are doing and working alongside each one of us.
Sí, sí, 2 proyectos y un
Also,
port.
a lot of things that happened before COVID was the events. The events always made us super happy. So showcasing the game to everyone and getting the players to play the game and see how they react, it was something incredible for us. It really
¿Cómo que
made
showcasing
us
the game,
feel
machote?
proud
Que no
of
me has
what we
enseñado una mierda.
Yeah, absolutely. I
¿Qué
feel
me
like
estás
everyone's missing
contando?
that event feeling, right? When you actually get to see people on the games and you're like, oh wow, everyone's loving our games.
Es que estoy
I
a
think
punto
it's
de
something that
silenciar
everyone is
y haceros
missing,
puto...
definitely. Speaking of kind of motivation and
En plan
happy
doblaje chorra,
times,
porque,
what are you most
madre mía.
proud of this game? What have you guys worked on that you're like, yeah, we did that?
I believe that the universe that we created is amazing. It has a lot of background from it. So, for example, we even made some comics for it that we prepared. We have a lot of story, some crazy cinematics. So we're really proud of the universe that we created, this game that we made, and achieving what we did is what makes us feel proud. And now that we have partnered with you, getting to expand that universe and getting
Es que
to,
estoy pensando, tía,
get
deja ya de
closer to our
preguntar.
original concept
Porque el chaval te va a
and what
contestar.
we meant for
Obviamente,
it.
pero ya está, déjalo,
That
despídele.
is something that
Ya
makes
está, ya
us
sabemos
really
que es
happy.
un.
Cool. Awesome. Speaking of partnership with us,
Es un
what are the benefits of
juego
signing up with a global publisher like Koch
en el
on their
espacio,
brand new label?
tipo Souls.
That's really that's really a amazing feeling for us.
Que alguien acabe con
Koch
este
really helped us
sufrimiento.
and takes care of
Joder, ya te digo.
the operation that we couldn't make it
Los
for
brasileños
ourselves.
hacen eso.
They have an amazing team of QA.
Que yo sepa que eso, no te ofendas, sí, sí. Los que se enrollaban mucho eran los argentinos. Pero hostia, este también, me cago en la leche.
A great producer that worked with us, helping us reach our goals and really deliver the game that we want. And without Koch opened the doors for us on that sense. And being part of this new label is a great opportunity for us, and also to know other game developers and expand the game community. And yeah, and to meet you as well. We really thank you
vale.
for this
Es muy argentino dar tanta vuelta para parecer que estás hablando de algo que sabes.
So happy
Bien.
to have you guys on board, and more importantly, I am so excited to actually let people play this game at some point under this new label. So thank you so much for your time, Gabrielle.
Gracias, tía, ya está. Ya.
And yeah, let's release Dolmen at some point under the new label. Thank you for your time, and see you later.
Thank you. See ya.
Now, the first title from Prime Matter will be the beautiful, highly anticipated King's Bounty 2. We have a first look at the gameplay trailer, and then Opal got a chance to sit down and talk with CEO Nikolai.
No, tío, no.
The balance is off. Our land, Nostria,
Ojalá sí,
dances
ojalá
on
no.
the knife's edge of fate.
O si viene, que para enseñar un tráiler y ya está, y que se vaya para su
Claudius,
casa.
my father, cannot lead, and his absence has set the realm in motion. Something is coming. Now the burden of the crown falls onto me. Nostria was flourishing, but there is unrest.
It used to be beautiful here. My wife and I had a nice life then.
Conspiracy, sabotage, necromancy. They all threaten
Creo
this
que haya habido
land
copy,
asunder. But we must unite, for distorted terrors are advancing. Rumors tell of a false prophet, putting our hope in something that does not exist. A seer foretells that our Savior is among us.
No,
People
Among Us
of
no es este
Nostria.
juego, no me vaciles.
You laid faith in my father. Do so to me. We must look towards the horizon. Fight back the darkness. And preserve the light of our land. For Nostria!
Ok, Chris, no me digas. Sí, por favor, Que ya tenía bastante disgusto hoy.
Hello there, guys! Thanks for joining me, and I am joined by Nikolai Barinshnikov from 1C Entertainment, who
El
is
padre del Heroes
CEO
of Might
and creator of
Might
King's
and
Bounty
Magic.
2. So King's Bounty has been years in development and has a 30-year pedigree. So what is it that makes
Vale.
King's Bounty 2
Me queda
so
igual.
special?
The original King's Bounty was a grandfather of games of series like Heroes of Might and Magic. So it created these turn-based gameplay when you have a hexed-based battlefield and the troops are moving in turns. Like chess pieces on the board. So I think that's the key. The cornerstone.
Oye, el filtro este que te hace el Skype o el Zoom, que te,
I know as you
que
mentioned,
hace
the
que
first
se
King's Bounty was 1990, and then you had the King's Bounty that you guys created in the 2000s.
te desenfoca el fondo, es
súper
inquietante.
2021, are you most excited about implementing into the new King's Bounty 2?
Well, I'm a huge fan of the core aspect of the game with tactical battles. And if in the previous games the battlefield was always a flat surface, so now we're bringing the battlefield into 3D. So we will have line of sights, hills. Like simple example, if your archers are located on the hill, they will do like extra damage for the high ground, etc. So moving the battlefield to 3D is a huge step forward.
Con este tipo de filtros no te puedes mover.
The exploration part, we decided to move more towards games like
¿Puedes ponerte fondo en plan espacio-puerto?
Big role-playing games, as opposed to have a top-down isometric view of tiny little character on the horse just galloping around the map. So we are moving towards this kind of epic fantasy adventure. Because this is not like a small indie title anymore. This is one of the biggest production we've done in Moscow so far.
So speaking of the other King's Bounty games, will this King's Bounty 2 follow the other stories of the games, or will it be a standalone title?
No, the game will not follow on any.
Pero
games,
si pones una foto o algo es mucho más cantoso.
They all sort of like disconnected. There was like the main protagonist. There are a bunch of evil guys. There's like a small quest, and I would say that a previous King's Bounty. It was not like an epic RPG adventure,
Yo me estoy aburriendo, pero que tenga que venirse Darko, que estaba en directo con Abraham, a decirme que a mí que se aburre. Es que manda huevos, ¿Cómo estarán? Seguro que le ha quitado. O se han puesto a hablar de esto, a hacer un mini podcast, o vete a saber, porque joder. Esto es duro, Esto es duro.
An epic RPG. However, this is a rare combination where our game King's Bounty.
Pero esto es un sneak peek de lo que vamos a ver el domingo en la de Microsoft. La de Microsoft siempre son muy así. Hay mucho más dinamismo en cuanto a enseñar trailers y demás, pero también hay mucha paja de entrevistas con desarrolladores y demás.
Strategy title, which I wouldn't. It's not like quote unquote was never done on console, but this is fairly unique combination for the console. And for me, like great inspiration was.
¿Te van a dejar hacerlo?
XCOM, for example, because I was a huge fan of XCOM that was released in 1994, 1996, and the modern console reinventing of XCOM. This is something we're trying to achieve with King's Bounty. Really make a modern game that works well on modern platforms, that works well with current understanding of gamers, how a game should look like. So we're trying to enhance it in every possible direction.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Kind of speaking about the story of King's Bounty 2 and how it differs, it appears to have a darker, more gritty aesthetic compared to its predecessors. What was the design philosophy around that? Why did you decide to go with that instead?
That's an interesting question. We've been debating on a design approach.
¿Eso ha sido yo? No, ¿verdad? Eso ha sido su PC, porque el mío no tiene puesto las notificaciones con sonido. Hola, chaval. Falla todo encima aquí. Sí, se me dio Windows, pero que mío no es.
Modern fantasy titles both in Hollywood and in games, and we thought that this is a good idea actually to upgrade King's Bounty to what we call like high fantasy or like realistic fantasy. So it's not a dark fantasy like Kingdom Come when they're like dirty peasants, everything is bad. No, it's more like, as I said, like high fantasy epic characters. It is a dragon. It looks like a dragon, not like a toy. It is a villain. He or she looks like a real bad person. So that was the main philosophy. Plus, game development evolves.
Hostia.
I don't think that it's a good idea to take a game of 2008
Yo es que yo
and just make a
soy más
replica with
previsora.
slightly enhanced graphics in
Yo hasta que no le doy,
2021.
no se actualiza. No le dejo. Tengo que decidir yo cuando se actualiza, si no me la lía. Me la lía.
Coming to the store or buy the game digitally or online, okay, this is like a $49.59 game. It has to look graphically and gameplay-wise like this. There's an expectation, and we believe that that's what we had to do.
Yeah, so we've mentioned that this game combines different kind of like ways that you can play the game, basically, from third-person RPG elements to this unique fighting system, this kind of chess-like fighting system. Kind of, why did you choose, with the evolution of game design and how people play games, why did you choose to stick to these hybrid game mechanics? Do you think that this is kind of what makes King's Bounty King's Bounty?
Las preguntas si las inventa ella o las tiene escritas.
So I don't even need to answer. King's Bounty is again is a grandfather of turn-based games. So if you remove tactical combat from King's Bounty, then it becomes, I don't know, Mass Effect or Kingdom Come. So so we can play around with evolution of this gameplay, make it more fun or realistic, but obviously this is the core. So this is a tactical game with a lot of role-playing aspects and high fantasy aspects, and not the other way around. So again, gamers who like RPG with shooting elements, games like Cyberpunk, this King's Bounty is probably not for them.
Han nombrado Cyberpunk. Han nombrado Cyberpunk. Abortar.
In terms of, we've mentioned kind of this new 3D world that you're creating when it comes to the fighting style, and then these RPG mechanics and making this world feel more alive and more exciting. What was actually the hardest part of you making the game? What took the longest time? What kind of caused you the most headaches?
Hard to say. First of all, this multiple platform game, so there are specific technical issues that
Gente, que llevamos una hora, ¿eh? ¡Una hora! Y no le he enseñado nada.
Porting to different platforms, getting different
Qué fuerte.
TCRs,
Qué fuerte me parece.
so that adds a lot. And then secondly, the production itself, as soon as we went away from this kind of cartoonish
Está tenso.
easy looking isometric
Pero está está el anterior, están todos.
high fantasy, and the production
Bueno, menos el alemán, que se estaba ahí un poco sueltito, pero los demás están vamos, más tiesos que una vela.
Just move around, go somewhere, have their own stories. Then we decided to instead of having text dialogues, we decided to produce a lot of engine-based cutscenes to push the story, to explain what's going on. So we even had to buy our own motion capture studio. We, we worked with dozens of actors, and there are hours and hours and hours of in-game based cutscenes, which in the past could be just dialogues and pieces of text. That was another huge complication.
No, absolutely. And then the final question, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch and being on their brand new gaming label?
Oh, that provides us a lot of additional support because
ellos están pagados el estudio de motion capture seguro.
All gamers understand
esa postura dice, déjame
to the market. So
déjame aburrirme tranquila.
Game, writing pieces of code or drawing this amazing sketch of a dragon is only half of the puzzle. So it's like yin yang. You need a lot of support from production people, testing, localization, manufacturing retail units, putting all this units into the retail shops
en el vídeo de YouTube que acabo de subir, que Wesker se quedó así después del misilazo que le metió Chris en el 5. Ahora tiene todo sentido.
We are on the market for many years, and I would say very honestly, I was personally a bit scared if we do it just ourselves, that we might not have the human resources to deliver the information about the game itself. You know, we'll work with all the platform holders as effectively as in a co-production and co-publishing with such esteemed partners. You know, Koch Media, Embracer Group. So I'm quite happy.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for your time, Nikolai. And I cannot wait for people to get their hands on King's Bounty 2.
Oh, me too. Trust me, me too. After 4 years of development, that's going to be one of the most exciting days for me in 2021.
We have 12 titles. We keep saying it. And honestly, I shouldn't have a favorite. It's like picking between a favorite child. However, this next title speaks to me.
Vamos a ver, espérate. Ha dicho que llevamos no sé cuántos juegos o de presentaciones y no sé sobre qué elegir. No me das para elegir, bonica. No me has enseñado nada.
Alice in Wonderland meets Alien, or as one US journalist put it, Tomb Standing. Guys, sit back, relax, grab a pillow, because you get a world-exclusive look at Scars Above.
Good job. Dr. Ward, Dr. Yoshida, get to the bridge, please. Time to see what's inside our alien guest.
Estoy viendo gameplay, no me lo creo. Nada, World Premiere abajo ahí,
Telemetry check.
Que no falle.
Telemetry check. Here go.
Wow. How is this possible? What planet is this? How did I end up here?
¿Tienen espacio? No, hombre. No me mancilles a Claire ya,
Log entry. The gate has an internal conduction system. The 3 points on the rim seem sensitive. A targeted blast of electricity should cause a reaction.
La interfaz es súper rara. Encima tienes estamina, tío. Qué poco me gusta la barra de estamina. Es muy Mass Effect.
It must have splintered off as it entered the atmosphere.
Oh. Esto es muy Resident Evil,
Mira, it's still intact.
Bueno, tiene también un poco rollo Returnal,
What the hell was that?
Un bicho.
Log entry. The creature has multiple salivary glands in its thoracic region that seem to produce a highly venomous secretion.
Eso era un hidralisco de StarCraft. Hombre, no sé si esto será pre-alfa o esto, pero no lo veo.
Looks like Robinson managed to connect the MPU to the pillar.
El crafting. Está bien, bueno, las mecánicas no están mal, coge bueno de diferentes, o sea, lo bueno de diferentes juegos.
This will help me get through that tissue webbing, and I'm taking the MPU.
Pero visualmente me parece bastante pobre. Igual y podría ponerse algún traje espacial. Se va a enfermar en ese lugar lleno de cosas raras, sí.
Who were the architects of this place? Did they build these towering monuments to serve a purpose, or as a testament to their mind?
Es muy Returnal la forma
Were
de
they looking for
contarlo.
answers,
Que
or
va viendo cosas y va hablando
solving a
consigo
problem?
misma en voz en off.
Oh my god!
Venga. Sí. Podría ser.
This thing was huge.
Pero al final son todos bogavantes espaciales, o sea que... Bogavantes espaciales, correcto, es lo que hay.
With the fluid that's freezing the water. There's the brain and the neural pathways leading to various organs.
What the
The
fuck?
cerebrum seems to be generating an electrical charge. This neural pathway is conducting large amounts of bioelectricity.
Sí, la verdad es que no tiene mucho...
This gland is secreting the cryogenic fluid that's freezing the water.
Ese animal estará... Bueno, ese bicho estará fosilizado, porque vamos...
The cocktail of digestive acids is dissolving local plant life into homogeneous matter. The process seems to be aided by bioelectricity.
Sí, sí, bogavantes. Lo que pasa es que en vez de tener dos pinzas, tienen... de una sola cuchilla. Esos eran boss.
That really was something. And last week, Opal had a chance to talk to the developers, Mad Head Games, and ask them what their game was all about.
Hello there, guys. Joining me now from Novi Sad in Serbia is Ivan Zorkic, game director at Mad Head Games, who's going to tell us all about his new project. So, Ivan, what's Scars Above all about?
Hey there. Scars Above, an alien object appears near Earth, and a team of astronauts is sent to explore it, to do a close-range scan. However, for some reason that I don't want to go into now, this results in them in an event which causes them to be transported to an unknown alien planet. So our protagonist, Kate Ward, who is a mission specialist, she's an astrobiologist with a background in engineering. She's one of the members of the team of astronauts, of the team called SCAR team, which is Sentient Contact Assessment and Response. So she is on the ship doing the scan, and she ends up on this stranded on this alien planet. So one moment she's with her team in the ship, and the other moment she's on this strange planet alone. So she explores.
Cualquier parecido con Returnal es pura coincidencia,
that her team is also stranded on the planet. She has to find them first. And it seems that some time has passed.
Es la versión de Hacendado.
She doesn't understand why. And also the planet is very hostile. So there's a bunch of dangerous creatures, monsters, and everything seems to want to kill her and the rest of her crew. So she needs to, find out what's going on, solve this mystery.
Tiene mecánicas que no están mal.
What does this planet want
Pero
from
no
them?
sé.
And the story unravels, and she actually learns about the place and learns about the mystery behind
Hombre, me
it.
dices que sale en Switch.
But it's
Me
all
lo creo.
about like being
Lo que han enseñado, eso parece que sale en
stranded
Switch.
on this
Pero me dices que eso es para Play 4,
kinda
Play 5.
scary, but also in a way strangely beautiful world.
No
creo.
And facing a lot of nasty creatures and monsters.
Yeah. So it's like kind of keeping on that theme of the realm of possibility and whatnot. How much in the game has its roots in the real world, and how much is just plain crazy sci-fi?
Well, it's mostly sci-fi, but the themes come from the real world. So they're inspired by the real world. I think the best stories come from the real
Decía
world,
Hitchcock
even
que
if
el
they're,
terror
about
que
as I
más
said,
miedo es el terror
dragons or
cotidiano.
fairy tales, and
Lo que nos
of
rodea.
course
Es lo que más
spaceships
miedo nos da.
and space exploration. Like there's always this component. So on one level, Scars Above is about reason versus terror. And this is a very important topic to me, and that's a very real world topic for me. Like in our world, a lot of bad things come out of fear. And this fear, gives birth to some unreasonably dark actions, which lead to more bad things and more fear and more bad things. And in a way, Scars Above is like, for me, a metaphor for reason standing up against terror, science against darkness, knowledge against ignorance.
So apart from kind of staying within sci-fi and obviously that kind of opening up the possibility that this can actually happen makes sci-fi what it is there any other important reason to you to keep, that sense of realism still there in the game?
So there is there is a reason to keep realism, but I think the better word is to make it believable. So if you go for absolute realism, you're kind of limited on what you can tell, the story you can tell. It kind of is like there is fiction element to the sci-fi, right? But we want to make it believable, and the reason why this is important is because I would like to create this what if vibe. I would like it if people actually ask themselves, like, what if this really happened? What would I do if I were suddenly stranded somewhere on this strange, far away from home world, surrounded with monsters and terrors? Like, if you make this believable, people might actually think more about it. So we don't want to go like super realistic. But we do want to make it believable, so that because immersion is really important, so that people get immersed in this world and start thinking like, what would I do if I was in this
Porque es que
situation?
ahora mismo es como si estuvieran ellos inventados en un
what if
escenario
this was really
donde
like,
están
what
viendo
if this
millones de
happens someday?
personas
What if an alien
y
object
tienen que
does
vender
appear
su
near
juego.
Earth someday, and what would happen?
Absolutely. And then you mentioned
Y en que esto
protagonist
sea una
Kate
entrevista
Ward.
así
You told
cordial,
her,
tal.
like, you told about her job
Tienes que
title.
vender.
What else about her? Like, who is she? Why is she?
Kate is awesome. We love her. So Kate is a very strong and very capable, but also a very caring person. So she's an astronaut. She's a scientist, a team member, a colleague, an explorer, and she always has like this childlike scientific curiosity. But one thing she is not, and that's a warrior, like a trained warrior. She's not a soldier, so she's not like a space commando or anything. And and she does end up in a situation where like she needs to fight for her life. So that's a theme that's kind of like really interesting to us, because the fact that she's not a trained combatant doesn't mean she's not capable. So she has like a strong will, a sharp mind. And she's very brave and tough, but like she's under tremendous stress.
Sabe disparar, que es lo que importa. Que ella no tenga entrenamiento militar y tal, pero le sale un bicho, sabe disparar, sabe apuntar, sabe disparar. Eso es suficiente.
It doesn't come out of lack of fear; it comes in face of fear. So we do want to show this fear, and
Y la
it's actually
trilogía
like this.
nueva
the fact
Lara
that she's
Croft no
overcoming
sabe
this,
coger
like
un
fighting
arma.
her
Y
emotions,
aprende
fighting
ella sola, y
all
vas
the
aprendiendo
stress,
tú con ella, y eso es lo
that
bonito
makes
del
her
juego.
courageous, and that's great. So she gets frightened, she fights her emotions, she's susceptible to panic, which I think kind of makes her relatable. Like she's not like I'm all out of gum.
Que a mí me parece que las
and
entrevistas
I'm
son
all out of gum.
excesivamente largas.
That's not her. She's like her heart pounds, her voice breaks, she trembles. But then that's
Entiendo que
what
se
I
quiere
really
contar
like
muchas cosas,
when
que se
her
quiera,
voice breaks,
pero
when she's like really scared, but she like clenches her fist.
si te
And
tiras
the adrenaline kicks
contestando
in,
media
and she
hora,
pushes through, no matter the obstacle, and she does it using her mind, and using science
aburrido al
and
final.
using her cunning to craft these
Demasiado,
weapons
sí.
and gadgets and survive against the odds.
Awesome. So you mentioned that Kate's a team player and that Scar.
Y entiendo
gets
la buena
sent up.
intención de Koch
Who
Media.
else is in the team? Who else are we going to be meeting on this adventure?
So she's a part of a four-person team. There is the commander of the mission, Commander Robinson, Richard Robinson,
vale.
and he's like
habéis solamente hecho el juego cuatro tíos,
a
no me
person
puedo
with a
creer.
military background,
Pero
like a
sí,
pilot,
eso es.
and an officer, and like
Eso es, tres
he's
preguntas.
the
Esto que sea un
commander
poquito
after all.
más
But the
dinámico.
rest of the team are mission specialists,
Pero es que
because
no solamente, o sea,
this is
pueden ser
also
tres
kinda like the
preguntas,
idea that,
pero es que si el tío o los
this
tíos
alien object appears, we send scientists and explorers trying to
se
figure out
dedican
what's going on.
a tardar media hora
Kate
en
is
contestar
joined,
cada pregunta,
by
a
her
mí, o sea,
close friend
con
Tamara,
una
who
vamos
is-
que chutamos.
who is and also like a scientist and an astronaut, and by Mike, a little bit younger member of the team, but who is also like a communications expert, and like they're all scientists working together to solve
Que
this
ya digo
mystery.
que
But Kate does get separated
entiendo
from them, and
la buena intención de
part
Koch
of the
Media,
game is actually uncovering the fate
que ha
of her
creado
other team members, and
una marca.
I don't want to spoil anything, but Kate obviously cares a lot
Primetime,
about her
que-
teammates and her friends.
Speaking of
Os ha
best feelings
cogido
that you can
bajo
have, what are you most proud of up to date?
su protección a
Scars
unos
above?
cuantos estudios
I'm actually gonna
y va a
give you
dedicarse a
corny but
distribuir
very true
juegos.
answer. I'm most proud of the team.
Que la propia Koch
making
Media,
a game
Koch Media ya
is a
distribuye,
huge
¿no? O sea,
effort, and it requires a lot of
esa,
hard work,
esa
focus,
distribuidora, o sea, bueno,
energy,
esa,
dedication, but also like
esa marca,
cooperation,
pues,
communication,
va,
support.
luego Koch Media va a
it's
distribuir
just
los
like
juegos.
looking at a
Y
group
entonces,
of
bueno,
people
está bien,
working
pero es
together
que
on a common goal,
si haces
that's
estas
really
cosas,
inspiring, and I think that's truly the case with any
hay que
development
tener
team,
algo.
when you ask them, like, what
Aquí
you're
vale,
most
aquí les he
most
enseñado
proud
un
of,
gameplay, pero aún
and
así,
I keep thinking like one day in the far future I may actually forget some of the details during
igual
the
es
development,
mejor,
but I
en
will
vez de
always
ponerme
remember the people I worked with.
gameplay puro y duro,
And then last question,
que se
what are
agradece.
the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like
pues
Koch
igual
and
poner un
being
tráiler
on their brand new publishing
con
label?
un poco de
There's
gameplay.
a bunch of benefits, but like having access to certain resources,
Pero-
to experience. This
Igual
is
en
a
este
game,
tipo de juegos que la
with
narrativa
many
es
firsts for
importante,
us.
hacer
So
ese tipo de
having
cosas es
someone
spoiler,
to just
pero
like share thoughts and share the experience is really valuable. But on a personal level, I have to say this, and I'm being perfectly honest. Like the biggest benefit for me was meeting a bunch of great people on your side. And I truly mean this. Like, it's a continued
también,
pleasure
yo en
to
mi opinión
work with
debería
you,
ser el Jeff Keighley.
not just
Que por lo menos el tío, aunque a
not
veces
just
es un
talking
poco
about the
soso y
game
tiene
or
los
how we
ojos
can make it better,
saltones.
but just like we talk a lot, as you know.
No sé, tiene
like,
otra
we chat
energía, tiene
about various things.
otro
Just meeting
otro
you
vibe.
guys, like it's a
Da otro
tremendous
tipo de
boost
sensación,
to what
pero es
you're
que
doing.
la chica esta
I don't want to
no-
downplay like the obvious benefits
no ha
because
sido
there's
la
a lot of them,
mejor-
like,
la
the
mejor elección.
infrastructure, the resources. But for me personally, it's just like meeting and getting to hang out with you guys. That's really awesome.
Absolutely, and it's a pleasure to hang out with you as well, Ivan. And thank you so much for your time. I cannot wait to let people play Scars Above because I know that we have so much fun with it in the office. So thank you very much. And yeah, we can't wait to see more.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to people playing the game. We're really excited about it. So, and thank you for this talk. Yeah.
And now for something completely different. When Brian Fargo himself, the granddaddy of
¿Ves?
top-down
La forma
isometric
de-
RPGs, says he is excited about a game,
parece
that's
triste.
gotta mean Prime Matter is getting something right. Encased is an isometric dystopian sci-fi RPG scheduled for release this autumn. And this new trailer,
Aunque
which
se
we're
vea que
unveiling
está
today,
leyendo,
will give
pero
you
no
a
sé.
pretty good flavor of what the game is all about.
It's 1976, and the future has arrived. But here's the skinny. We at Cronus need you.
Exactamente.
Cronus was formed after a dome-like structure was discovered 5 years ago. Was it from our ancient past? Was it made by aliens? Does it run on perfectly harmless nuclear power? We need to know, and humanity is waiting for you to help unlock its secrets. Descend into the dome itself and join one of our incredible research teams.
Sims?
The only question is, which wing of Cronus is the best fit for you? If you like taking orders, cracking heads, ultra-violence, and guns, lots of guns, then the Black Wing is for you. Can you build and repair incredible technology, but not expect any credit for it? You sound like an engineer to us. Welcome to the Blue Wing. Are you a doctor, scientist, mathematician, or any other type of brainiac? We've got you covered in the White Wing. Do you like taking credit for the hard work of others, but never do anything yourself? Those
Fallout.
forms
Hasta
won't
el
fill
3 eran en
themselves.
vista
That's
isométrica.
management, mister. And the
Sí.
Silver Wing awaits. Are you a criminal, prisoner, or have no discernible skills whatsoever? Then you're coming to the Orange Wing, like it or not. Are you ready for adventure? Are you ready to make the change with
Pues sí,
us?
es un-
Are
es
you
un
ready
Fallout.
to love it so much that you'll never want to leave? Then join Cronus and take the second giant leap for mankind under the dome.
Engage. Pero es que
That's not all. Opal got to sit down with the creative brains behind Encased. Check it out.
Let's go to St. Petersburg in Russia and speak to Vyacheslav
matadme, por favor,
Kosahin,
no quiero más
creative
entrevistas,
director of
matadme.
Dark Crystal Games
Oh.
and the brains behind their upcoming isometric RPG Encased. So, Slava, what
Es
is
un RPG
Encased?
isométrico.
So Encased is an old school RPG
Y
in
ya
the
está.
sci-fi post-apocalyptic setting, basically.
Awesome. So the name Encased is kind of,
Este chaval me
it's a
cae bien.
word and it has
Frases
various
cortas
meanings.
y sencillas.
What's the thinking
Esas son las
behind the
respuestas que
name?
quiero.
The thinking behind the name comes from the setting of the game, from one main entity of it, which is the dome. The game takes place in the anomalous zone called the dome, which was found somewhere in the last unknown desert on the Earth and on our planet. And well, basically people who get in there, various scientists, technicians, soldiers and adventurers, they can't get back. This is sort of a one-way road, so those guys who explore the dome, they are encased in there, which I think
Pero
makes some sense.
vuelvo a lo mismo.
Absolutely. Yes. So,
Estos no me
I know that
parecen
you guys have been developing this
juegos
game for kind of a long time now.
top.
How long is it actually taken to get to the
Oh,
point where
Wasteland.
you are now?
So we are developing the game for 3.5 years now. We started late in 2017 with some pre-production, but obviously we have thoughts about a project like this for years and years before that, before those crystallized in something, something that really exists. So it takes
Pero el otro
10
tampoco,
years of thinking behind this game, this project,
El otro
and
tampoco.
3.5 years of actual
Yo creo que serán
production time
juegos que
to this point.
igual
So
son
considering
doble A.
how long it takes, how do you guys keep yourself so motivated just on one particular title?
Pero que no solo
Well,
eso,
we
sino
don't. We
que
can't say we have any problems with motivation or our own, because for
tú vas a ver eso en una Play
most, if
5
not everyone on the team, this is the
en un
dream
PC, una Xbox
project
Series.
that
Y
comes to life. So
te da igual
that's
verlo
fine.
ahí
In this
que verlo
regard,
en
the
una Play
motivation
4
is
o
always
una
high,
Xbox One.
but also we are in the early
En mi opinión,
access. And we're really open with the community from the very early stages of the project.
No me parecen
And
así
because of this openness and talks with the
maravillosos.
community, and we have had a crowdfunding, and that now we are in the early access, we have this constant feedback on the project, both positive and sometimes negative. which obviously keeps us motivated. If we would be on our own for those like 3.5 years and some extra time we'll spend on developing this game, maybe the motivation could decline a little bit, but with those constant talks with the community, shared feedback, we're all good.
Awesome. And then kind of bringing it back to the game, given how development and technology often is basically dictates how the game evolves throughout its development, how close to the original concept that you came up with years and years ago are you now with the game that you have currently?
The overall concept, we managed to keep it alive. We managed to keep it true. It's a very
Hostia, creo que luego voy a hacer...
type,
¿Ha empezado ya el IGN? Porque igual me cambio y hacemos el IGN.
Golden classics of late 90s and early
Porque
2000s.
me estoy aburriendo mucho.
And in that regard,
Sí, ha empezado a las 10.
all those ideas survived the process, which is really great.
Sí.
Most of the mechanics, abilities, perks, and all those little things which these RPGs are built from, we managed to put it in there too. But obviously, because technology changed.
Que sí, que muy bien. Perdón. A tomar por culo. Es que lleva 20 minutos esto encima, ha empezado a las 10. Llegamos tarde, pero bueno, menos de una piedra. Loli World. ¿Queréis que lo ponga desde el principio? Mira, lo voy a poner desde el principio. Bueno, loco.
Hospital's unique set of
Roads in this. You're hearing my voice.
Vale, pero ¿cuánto lleva esto?
pursue multiple by these great hands. Splitgate also limits them. It's let down by its drab maps that repeat too often in the first hours, and its current lack of players can make it hard to find an evenly matched game if you haven't brought your own teams.
Eso es.
But it's fun, free, and its microtransactions are
Vamos a
purely
poner desde el
cosmetic.
principio y ya está.
Most importantly, it proves that portals aren't just for puzzle games. They're at home in competitive shooters too. For more, check
Es
out
que ya he
5
visto
minutes
ya
of
cosas
gameplay.
que,
And
aunque
for other
nos lo
multiplayer
enseñaron
games, check out
ayer,
our
pero
reviews
por
of
lo
Mordant
menos,
and World War
no sé.
Z. And for everything else, stick with us right here at IGN.
Hostia, tú que han puesto el jefe maestro, ¿eh?
Summer of Gaming. The biggest video game event of the year is now all summer long. From our IGN Expo loaded with exclusive gameplay and reveals, to exciting first looks at the hottest new games and in-depth developer interviews.
It's going to be awesome across the board.
IGN Summer of Gaming has it all.
Pues ya estoy ya...
This year, we've condensed
¿En
a
serio?
metric ton of fresh trailers and never-before-seen gameplay into one sleek package. It's IGN Expo, and you're about to attend. Don't worry, there's no ticket price, barring whatever you're already paying for your internet connection. This is our special corner of the summer, and our chance to show off all the unique games that make up the greater gaming cosmos. So buckle in, because here come more games than you can shake a joystick at. IGN Expo starts now.
Venga, vámonos. es que esto ya es otra cosa, tío. Mortal Cell de Virtuous Cycle. Por Dios, llamar a Abraham que se está pajeando ya. Madre mía.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our very own IGN Expo. Now, this right here is the chillest place to be during this hot, hot summer of gaming. You see the way we're dressed? We're clearly here to have a good time.
¿Veis la diferencia? ¿Veis la diferencia de una conferencia a otra?
We're going to be bringing you exclusive first looks at
Joder.
upcoming video games that'll likely leave blisters on your thumbs from the sheer thought of playing them, Brian.
Mismo ritmo, ¿verdad?
It's
Sí,
physically
sí.
impossible to get blisters on your thumbs from thinking about something, but, you know, I believe in you. Your heart's in the right place. By all means, continue.
Brian, look, I gotta tell you, man, you don't tell me what's physically impossible, baby. Tell me about the games. You know, we're smack dab in the middle of summer gaming, IGN's all summer long game abrasion celebration. Now, yesterday, y'all saw Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest kickoff live. Tomorrow is the start of our E3 2021 coverage, and this right now, this thing that you're experiencing right now is our very own IGN Expo. It's the eye of the heat storm, and you know, well, we all want to know, baby. We all want to know.
I didn't get an echo machine. Did they mail you one of those? Anyway, I'll tell you a little bit about the games. But first, just a teaser. You just
Tiene sentido que diga que es el ojo de la tormenta, porque ayer en plan hubo una.
And coming up, we've got numerous trailer reveals of
Esto es en plan un poco
DLC, announcements, developer
tierra de nadie
offers,
y ya
and
mañana empieza lo
so
bueno.
much more. I'm actually not sure if we're allowed to spoil the surprise for you all, so let's just jump right into it and show you some exclusive game footage from Creed.
Games!
World Premiere!
Two boxing giants are about to step into the ring tonight. I'll go easy on you at first. I got this.
Let's do this.
That's a knockdown. There is no tomorrow.
Ya está. Cambia el título.
I defeat all men.
Un juego de Rocky.
Ready to feel the beat? Didn't take a single hit.
I did it.
Un punch out de Rocky. Big Rumble Creed Champions Boxing. Mola.
The position of the inkwell indicates that the victim is left-handed. However, the bullet entered the right temple. That's strange. The goodbye letter was written while the victim's glasses were left untouched upon the nightstand. Who would want their final words to appear crooked? Traces of a
Sherlock?
long dress. Is a crime disguised as suicide. The maid? No. I have it. They belong to the priest who wanted to retain ownership of the land for his presbytery. The first case on this island is closed.
That's incredible, Sherlock.
Sí.
You always impress me.
Sherlock.
Well, did you really think that you could come to this island without getting a little dirty? That investigation was easy, but this personal mission that brought you here, you know it's nothing but pain and madness. I know it's not so far from what's already in your mind. But once the truth is revealed, will it help?
Esto será como las aventuras gráficas que salió también en Play 4 y demás.
Watch your step, Sherlock. This quest might soil more than your shoes. You're not ready.
Se parece un poco a Connors de Detroit Become Human. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. Mola. Son zombies cúbicos. Te habrían mordido, tío. Survival Machine. ¡Wow! Hay que ser trolls, ¿eh? Es el juego más terrorífico que he jugado en mi vida. Es un puto Doki Doki. Aquí solo vas a ver niñas monas con las que puedes quedar y hacer cosas de mayores. Eso sí, todas van bien, ¿eh? Bien dotadas. Claro que sí. ¡Oh, qué bonito! Para vosotros, jugadores.
Man, I gotta tell y'all, what a block of awesome that was. I'm so excited for Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, especially as a man living in the middle of a pandemic. You know, I wouldn't mind having Monica in my reality these days, and I know I'm not alone. Actually, I am alone, which is why I want a video game character to come keep me company. But I am excited for that one. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Es en plan, no sé qué coño decir después de lo que acabas de decir.
Living in the post-pandemic, I'd sure love to have a platonic business relationship with Watson to solve crimes and such, and hold hands. But let's keep this train going by tossing it to the developers over at Gearbox for a breakdown of the Wonderlands trailer. This new game is set in the Borderlands universe and inspired by Tiny Tina's tabletop adventures. Let's take a look at Wonderlands.
Este me gustó mucho. Este me gustó mucho.
Hey everybody, my name is Matt Cox and I'm the creative director of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I'm thrilled to be able to go through this trailer with you today. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is an entirely new adventure set in an unpredictable fantasy
Puede salir un tío
that's full of
hablando, pero que te
whimsy
explique
and
lo
wonder
que estás
and
viendo.
high-powered weapons. Packed with fresh gameplay ideas, irreverent humor, a crazy story-driven adventure, and repeatable endgame content that you can enjoy with friends in co-op up to 4 players.
Estaba mal explicado el juego. La gracia es que parece un juego cutre y después una de las chicas te hackea el juego y una se suicida y la otra te quiere matar y así.
Monsters from shambling skeletons to, like this, sharks with legs. So designing for this chaotic brand of fantasy lets us run wild with our imagination. So you can expect
Entonces
some
sería un
slightly
Strix
warped
Shark.
takes on high fantasy.
Si es un tiburón con patas. con piernas en realidad.
The awesome Gabe Kunda voices the mysterious figure that you hear in this trailer. Now, he's not the protagonist. Players can actually create and customize their own multi-class heroes in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Players
Mola.
won't literally
Te puedes
customize their
crear
weapons,
tu
but you will
personaje,
collect a
como en
wide
el
variety
Borderlands.
of loot and a wide variety of rarities. So you have guns, spells, melee weapons, and of course you'll have your skills that you can use, and then you'll be able to find loot like armor and amulets.
Ese tiene que ser súper divertido.
Spells are a big part of our combat loop, and while it's true we do not have grenades in this game, we actually like to think of our spells more as mini skills because of their power and their variety of behaviors. Our cast is incredible. We have the headstrong Captain Valentine, the rule-obsessed robot Fret, and of course our tyrant villain Dragon Lord, and Tiny Tina, and they're all brought to life by these great actors. And of course, enter a magical diamond binacorn leaping in to save the day here. This speaks to the wild and irreverent humor in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Now, all of this takes place in a game within a game, as players experience a round of bunkers and badasses,
No.
a chaotic fantasy tabletop adventure where anything
A
can
ver,
happen.
yo entiendo
The
que es
very
como un
unpredictable Tiny
Borderlands,
Tina makes the rules,
pero en un mundo de
she changes the
fantasía
world
y
on
en
the
plan
fly,
gamberro.
and guides players on their
Pero
epic
Skyrim no
fantasy
creo.
journey. Now, a lot of the tone and humor in this story springs from this chaos. This takes place in Dragon Keep, but if you don't know what that means, that's okay. Dragon Keep, but if you don't know what that means, that's okay, because this is a brand new adventure in a brand new world in the mind of Tiny Tina, playing bunkers and badasses. We absolutely love Tina and the crazy
quiero
world that
decir,
we're
ya sé que
creating,
no-
and it's been an
no
absolute
fue
joy
serie, pero-
working on this game. So we're very excited for
Ese
everyone to
tipo de
share in
juego,
this
quiero
experience
decir.
when
Será
it
más rollo
launches
misiones.
next year.
I think it should go without saying that Wonderlands looks wonderful. There, I said it, and I don't care who hears me say something so brave yet
Pues
so
sí, pues sí.
controversial. Anyway, we've got more gaming goodness
Aprobó
coming
el
up on the
chiste.
IGN Expo.
Aprobó el
Summer of
chiste.
Gaming 2021 returns, so don't go anywhere. Don't. That's a threat.
No, no.
It's not a threat.
He salido
It's just-
huyendo del
it's
de Koch
just
Media para venir
mocking
aquí.
my
No me voy a
style.
ningún lado, tío. Tranquilo.
But don't go anywhere. I have scissors, and I'll make a beautiful, beautiful card for you that says "Don't go anywhere." We'll be right back.
IGN Summer of Gaming 2021 is presented by the Amazon original movie, The Tomorrow War, exclusively on Prime Video July 2nd, and powered by Duracell Optimum, the official battery sponsor of Summer of Gaming 2021, and presented by USAA Insurance and Army National Guard. Pursue multiple paths while you serve. Reach your greatest potential with Army National Guard.
Venga, tío.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team
¿Me
of
están
some of the
metiendo
world's
anuncios?
biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
Venga, va.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite game, but what if you got a chance to peek into the mind of the front of them? To speedruns. We invite you skilled
Qué fuerte te meten anuncios, tío.
In a world with non-stop news about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, you need a show with accurate reporting, hard-hitting commentary, and
Me, Akeem Lawanson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment. Whether it's the latest breaking movie entertainment on
Welcome back to IGN Summer of Gaming
Ahí
Expo.
está.
I'm glad you stuck around and I didn't have to use these scissors. Time to get rid of them.
Give me that, man. You don't need those. Give them to me. What are you doing with these?
Anyway, let's check out
No
some more
son
trailers.
iguales.
Any guess on what we might see now, Akeem?
Well, you know what, Brian? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say exclusive gameplay trailers with a dash, just a dash of DLC. I want to see some DLC.
Wild guess. Well, let's DLC what we got.
Ooh.
It hurt. It hurt me. It hurt me to say it. Okay? Physically hurt to say that joke. Physically. I need the scissors back.
A ver. ¿Qué DLC? ¡Shifu! Este tiene muy buena pinta. Muy, muy buena pinta. Encima es un roguelike también. Si mueres, te vas a revives más mayor, con más experiencia. Pero esto, por ejemplo, es un indie, pero que sí que lo veo que sea para esta generación. No sé. Intergeneracional, es que... ¿Qué coño estamos viendo? Esto no era de videojuegos, no era de Lego. No sé. Estoy confusa. ¿What? Vale. Una forma extraña de presentar un juego.
Gorgeous amphibian, and how can I be as successful as him? Well, I'll tell you, kiddo. You gotta come to Redlandia. The place
Se supone que era un juego de vaqueros.
where even the ice cream's dreams of hitting the big time. You see these guys? They've got that go-getting attitude, making it happen in the streets. And oh, the streets, kid.
Vale, esto es el oli que hemos visto antes, cuando hemos llegado.
Nothing but miles of the smoothest concrete ramps and grinds everywhere. Makes you want to grab your board and... Hold on, you can skate, right? Whatever, you pick it up! Or not. Look, it's fine. Your skills, my connections, ain't nothing we can't achieve. There's a whole world out there to discover.
Tiene
It's time to shine,
helado en la cabeza
humanoid
por
friend.
pelo.
Let's roll!
Pues eso, un plataformas.
Ollie Ollie World. Take a trip.
Gracias, Pepotron. Para todas las consolas. Sale para Switch, Pepo. Cómpratelo.
Deals on tiny wheels. You need a board? You need a battery for that? Hello.
Venga, sí, dámelo todo así. Pim pam, pim pam, pim pam. Ah, yo
Brothers and sisters,
tengo muchos talentos ocultos que no
you're
sabes.
hearing my voice because we have reached a crossroads in this war.
Left
We
4
know
Blood.
now that no miracle is coming. That simply surviving is a slow death. That we
Cripta
will
del
not
Papi,
win
qué
by
buen nombre,
holding
tío.
our ground.
Our ranks have grown. Our skills have
Que esto
sharpened.
parecería Guerra Mundial Z,
And
pero
our
tampoco.
weapons are loaded. We have initiated a new strategy in Kamchatka.
Our forces are prepared to take back Rome.
We will not hide. There will be no retreat.
Es que he dicho Guerra Mundial Z porque hay escenarios que sí que salen en el libro aquí, pero no sé.
Today, we make a stand.
A tomar por culo, sí señor, sí que era el Guerra Mundial Z.
Welcome back to IGN Expo! Yes, now you all just got a sneak peek of Sifu and World War Z Aftermath, among others. Now, I can ramble all day about how great those reveals were, but
Hombre,
no,
han
why
mejorado
ramble
mucho
when we
el
got
gameplay
Bramble?
con...
Now, this upcoming game from Dimfrost Studios
con armas
promises to
cuerpo a
take
cuerpo
you
y
deep within
mecánicas
the
cuerpo a
dark and
cuerpo y
mysterious
demás,
world
¿no?
of folklore. Let's take a look at Bramble the Mountain King.
Pero es que pasa lo de siempre, que lo tienes que jugar en cooperativo sí o sí. Marta is dead. Niña, no te cabe más sangre en la cara, de verdad. Qué ensañamiento, por Dios. Hola, soy Sadako y vengo a comerte. Bramble, the Mountain King. Vale. 2022. Bah. Habrá tiempo. Habrá tiempo para el 2022.
I gotta say, Brian, Bramble, that was something. I'm all in on this one. You can definitely, from now on, call me a brambling man.
Yeah.
Call me a bramble.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the game looks really awesome. I just feel like you're really excited about the repeated stabbing thing. That seems like you.
Sí, no, eso es lo que todo el mundo nos...
Which is odd.
It's got everything that you
Sí,
want
Marta is Death es un juego, es un survival horror.
I thought it was really awesome. I'm really excited for it, Brian. Just tell what do we have next? Because I'm super excited, man. If Bramble was this damn good, we got to have something else coming up next that's just as equally, if not better.
Well, you know, whatever's up next, I think maybe we should pivot and have something with like considerably less chest stabbing. Maybe something like
Sí, no sé de qué me estás
chill,
hablando.
You know, something kind of relaxing.
So you mean like how about this? How about like
sí, seguirán con eso.
Birds? Like skateboards? Skateboarding birds.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's very, very specific, but that would be super chill. Yeah, let's do it. Skating birds, great.
Espero que
you
no.
know what, Brian? I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to love this next game. Here comes Skateboarding Birds in Skatebird. Let's check it out.
Skatebird!
Skatebird!
Skatebird.
Sí, no había escuchado mal. Vale, eran pájaros haciendo skate. La que has liado, pollito. Nice, Goti. Qué fuerte. Es que encima son obstáculos de una casa. Y tiene historia, sí, sí. Este es el E3 de los skaters, sí, sí. 21 de agosto. ¿Sale ya? ¿Sale ya? ¿Pa todas?
Wow, what a day. Well, that's all the time we have here on IGN Expo.
Wait,
I want to
whoa,
thank
whoa,
my hairstylist. I want to thank my...
Brian, hold on. Wait, are you insane, man? We're only halfway through. What are you doing?
Oh, wow. Well, this event is stacked with even more exclusive reveals
Claro.
and brand new trailers than I could have reasonably anticipated.
Clearly, and very well said, my friend. And we'll be right back with even more right after this break. So stick around and keep being part of our summer of gaming.
That's right. And I want to thank my agent. I want to thank my friends. I want to thank my uncle who taught me that wrestling isn't real. That made me mad when I was a kid, but I'm okay with it now. It only took about 60 years to get cool with that. But I want to thank the guy.
Vale, tenemos otros anuncios.
IGN Summer of Gaming is powered by Duracell Optimum.
Venga, tío, de verdad.
Not only is IGN fans of your games, no matter where you are, Snapchat fans
need a show with new show announcement. I'll be to you.
Media, what are you? The best. Follow IGN.
What's up, everyone? Sydney here to bring you
¡Hombre!
an update about the future of IGN on YouTube.
¿Qué tapada vas? ¿Qué tapada vas, hija mía? No te acuerdas de mí, ¿no? Es que iba a pedo la última vez que nos vimos. Tú me hiciste beber muchos chupitos, hija de la gran puta. Esta presenta los Game Awards junto con el Jeff Keighley. Por eso. Y se me hace raro verla tan tapada, porque siempre la ponen ahí unos vestidos súper raros.
I want to thank DuckTales. I want to thank Anthony Franco's Pizzeria in Paramus, New Jersey. Really good, really garlic knots, really, is what
Sí, sí. De hecho, me lo siguen recordando cuando salgo de mi casa.
Summer of gaming, and you found yourselves knee-deep in IGN Expo. Yes, we are jam-packed with some of the most unique games you'll see first right here on IGN.
Speaking of which, you know what I miss most during quarantine? Helping and moving friends. I just really love unpacking heavy crap and lifting it up in the air. And if you're a weirdo like me, then you probably get the sheer joy of games like Power Wash Simulator and Teardown. Well, keep an eye out in our next set of trailers for Unpacking, probably the best unpacking simulator made to date.
Sure, yeah. You know, there's also like a bunch of other trailers in there too, Brian.
I think they're going to be most excited about the Unpacking one, though.
Okay, you know, well, fine. Well, let's unpack all the trailers, not just the Unpacking one, right now.
A ver. Humble Games. 1997. Yo que he hecho 2 mudanzas, esto me parece una broma. Bueno, técnicamente 3. Un dado de 20 caras. Unpacking, a tomar por culo, y se llama así, es un juego de desempaquetar.
Hi, and welcome to a very quick sneak peek look at 2 Point Campus.
Tú piensas que no te pueden sorprender cuando te van a presentar un juego y la acaban haciendo. Un juego de desempaquetar.
But rather than boring courses, we're giving you the opportunity to teach your students very unusual classes. Like
Es como el Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, pero sin gameplay. Correcto, eso es.
Jousting, and how to walk around in that really heavy armor.
Unboxing de game,
Here we're
correcto.
building the training area for our prospective knights. We watched a ton of live streams of 2 Point Hospital, saw what people were vibing with, and we've added a ton of new creative tools for campus that will let you build outside, create new buildings, landscape, and place trees and pathways.
A mí que estos que no me
Here you
gustan,
can see some
los
of
de
our night school
simulación.
students warming up with some practice dummies.
Me
If
pasa
they can
como
nail
con
their
los
classes,
RPGs,
they'll
no
get
tengo
themselves
paciencia.
straight A's.
Creas
But if they don't
algo,
have
te tiras
everything
ahí no
they
sé
need,
cuántas
great
horas
teachers, great equipment,
y luego lo
and
quieres
of course a
destruir.
great social life, they may fail.
Es la hostia.
It's just a super quick peek.
Yo creo cuando jugaba a los, perdón, a los Sims, no, al Sim City, que me gustaba. Te montabas tu ciudad, te tirabas ahí 2-3 horas montándote tu ciudad, intentando ahí conseguir pasta. Y básicamente era en plan de, vale, ¿y ahora qué? Voy a llamar a los aliens. Qué bonito. Pero los aliens o lo incendiaba, ¿eh? Qué bonita es. Qué juego más jodido, por cierto. Vale.
Salve, friend.
Hola.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are? I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Somebody in this city is about to break the golden rule.
Some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing God who's watching everything we do.
¿Todo el mundo se convierte en oro? ¿Cómo va la cosa? Sí.
Are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule?
How is it that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
Supongo que tendrá algo que ver con vidas. Y eso parece el
Salve,
Stargate.
friend. I'm Galerius.
The Forgotten City. 28 de julio. ¿Sale ya? Vale.
From a new dawn, a hero rises, torn between two worlds, yet part of none. It's your fate to free Nevendar. Disciples' Liberation brings tactical turn-based battles into a dark fantasy strategy RPG.
Corrígeme si me equivoco.
Find your
¿Esto es
place
como
in
un
a
diablo?
world of endless raging war between the four factions. Use your legacy to battle your
No,
foes,
vale.
find loyal companions, and form a powerful army. Choices are what define us.
Vale. Parece por turnos. Sí, es que estaba pensando, era RPG sí. Yo hasta ahí sí, pero era por el sistema de combate, no. Es más un Heroes of Mighty and Magic, vale.
Seize your destiny and liberate the land of Nevendar.
Es que la vista isométrica despista, lo siento. Sí, es estratégico, sí.
Disciples Liberation.
Disciples Liberation. Muy
Coming
bien.
soon to your PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Muy bien.
You just saw the trailers for Unpacking, Disciples Liberation, Unpacking, and before that was The Forgotten City, and also Unpacking.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Este se quedó con las cajas.
Now, Brian, you might remember our next game made waves when it was first announced 3 years ago, but we haven't heard a ton from the team lately. Now, with that said, the little fox who stars in this Zelda-ish indie title still looks just as cute.
Akeem, I am so excited about this one. Let's check in with Tunic.
Tunic has been a darling of the gaming scene for several years now, and that's been its one and only problem. It's been quite a while since we first saw it, and it's
Lo peor es que seguramente juega el juego de las cajas. Hombre, a ver, para estar de chill y hacer, bueno, a ver, y te montas ahí tu casita o tu habitación o tal, no está mal.
And we got an exclusive hands-on with the all-new E3 2021 demo that's coming to your Xbox on June 15th. Here are 5 reasons why this charming fox needs to be on your
Una
radar.
demo en Xbox.
Tunic's old demo didn't really make it clear how challenging the combat can get. In the new demo, which includes a slice of the overworld as well as one
No,
dungeon,
este es un zorrito mono. Este no hace skate.
You find in order a stick, a sword, and then a shield. From simple blobs to laser turrets to a giant bone
Esto más
monster
como
that,
Zelda.
try as I might with every power-up I could find in the demo, like ice bombs and sticks of dynamite, I could not bring down.
Es un zorrito mono al que le está dando hostias todo el rato. Vale,
I
venga.
presume I'll be more powerful later on in the full game to come back and conquer it, but the demo makes it clear that there are going to be places that you probably shouldn't go yet, no matter how tempted you are to get through the doors that toughest
Pues igual
creatures are guarding.
si sale para Xbox la demo, igual le echo un vistacillo, a ver qué tal.
Speaking of which, who the heck is this fox? What is going on in this world? What does the in-game language mean, and will I ever be able to translate it? And why are there help screens in the world modeled after old-school video game instruction manuals and strategy guides? I love the
Mola.
added sense of mystery and intrigue that Tunic brings that it absolutely doesn't need to. The gameplay would be just as fun and the presentation
Sí,
just
que
as
tengas
compelling
ahí que
without them, but
descifrar
they're
y
there,
tal, eso
and they
mola.
make me want to play more to uncover the answers to those questions. Like any good Zelda-style game, there are
A mí como
secrets
cuando
hiding all over the place if
yo
you look
era
carefully enough.
joven,
Shouldice
hace muchos
very
años,
politely requested that I not spoil any of them for
que
you
los
before you have a
juegos
chance to play
traían
them for
manual.
yourself. So
Y de
I'll
hecho,
just say this.
hay un profesor
Put yourself
Layton
in a Zelda mindset,
en el que
you'll
necesitas
probably
el
have some
manual
good
para
ideas of where
descifrar
to look.
un puzzle.
Shouldice told me that there are
Si te lo
6
comprabas de segunda
secret
mano, estabas
items hidden
jodida.
in the demo, which
O
means
jodido.
there are certainly plenty more to discover in the full game as well.
Me
On
acuerdo
this
de los
note,
juegos
the
con
new
manual,
demo
sí,
makes
¿verdad?
it pretty clear that you will not be completing Tunic in just one sitting. The one dungeon here has plenty of layers to it, and while you can save your progress at various
Yo creo
shrines,
que en-
doing so resets all of the monsters.
En Play 3 aún
so
no
there'll
tenía
be a
todavía, pero creo
constant
que ya eran
tug
en
of war
blanco y
between
negro.
taking risks to
Pero en
progress
Play 2
and playing it safe.
eran muy
I do
bonitos.
appreciate how there are environmental shortcuts that open up as you go, meaning that if you die, and believe me, you will die, respawning at the last save point means you won't have to walk as far or fight through everything all over again in order to get where you're going. But this world is clearly a big one.
O
just
sea,
like
lo de
any
siempre, como un
Zelda-style
solo. Si
game
descansas,
worth its
reaparecen,
salt.
¿no? Es que poco me gusta a mí esa mecánica, coño.
Finally, allow me to state the obvious. Tunic looks and sounds beautiful. The simplistic, colorful visuals lend Tunic a very playful visual tone, while the serene music adds a very pleasant,
Tiene mejores
calming
físicas
vibe
de
to the
cajas que el
gameplay.
Final
The
Fantasy VII
combination of
Remake,
the
¿eh?
two is
Cuidado.
fantastic. Tunic blends retro and modern in both the audio and visual departments in a way that gives it a wholly unique look and feel. I absolutely love it. And with that, I wholeheartedly recommend you play the Xbox demo yourself on June 15th. And after you do,
El 25
I have
de
little
junio,
doubt
muy
that
bien.
Tunic will not only
Ya será un año
ping
más
on your
mayor para
upcoming game
entonces.
radar, but rocket up towards the top of your wish list in the process. While Shouldice still hasn't given a concrete release date for Tunic, there's more reason than ever to believe that 2021 is finally the year. For more on Tunic, don't miss more gameplay from the old
Y fíjate que me voy a tener que comprar para la Play 5 para poder jugar el capítulo de Yuffie. Porque estuve mirando ayer en la Play 4 y no está para la Play 4, es exclusivo para la 5. Así que...
Count 'em, 6 fresh trailers loaded up like a blast cartridges in a laser pistol aimed at the heart of your boredom. Because I know y'all get bored.
Yeah. Wow, they shoot a laser pistol
Intenso,
at the heart of boredom. That's an apt metaphor, Keem. It's also really dark and slightly messed up. Anyway, our first trailer involves a show I know everyone loves, Saint Ranger Things. Following the adventures of Saint Ranger, the only Texas Ranger to ever be sainted.
Well, Brian, actually, I'm gonna have to poke a couple of holes in your cloud here, my boy. It actually that's a typo. It says Stranger Things.
Oh no, that's not a typo. I just can't read. Well, anyway, let's see what the Stranger Things or Saint Ranger Things team are doing in the world of Smite. Or Smitty.
Otra vez el trailer este. Ay, madre. Lo están vendiendo muy fuerte, ¿eh? Pero muy muy fuerte, lo cual esto será malísimo. Eso es, Smile, eso es. Smite. Blood Violence. Splitgate, free for everyone. Huele a Battle Royale, chavales. Si es gratis. Tiene un poco de mecánica valorando. Sí, Portal Battle Royale, correcto. Pero eso también puedes hacer en el Valorant, que puedes crear un portal y salir en otro lado, ¿eh? Madre mía, qué locura de juego. Crossplay, cross-gen, un juego que nadie quiere y me lo hacéis crossplay. Ay, el Street of Rage. Qué juegazo, qué juegazo. Me lo pasaba en Xbox, que lo tengo... Está en el Game Pass. Y es un juegazo de la hostia. Súper divertido. En tu cara, Yubi. Mr. X Nightmare. ¡Qué guay! Un DLC. Engrave the Mystery of the Asian Code. O Asian algo. No me quedo con la última palabra. World Premiere. Unravel no, ¿no? ¿Tú ves muñequitos hechos por hilo? No. Span Upgrade, Defend Your Come Together. Eso era una canción, ¿no? Come Together Right Now Over Me. Demasiado en estilo. Core Keeper. Oh, venga, solo para PC. Me acuerdo de este juego. Este lo presentaron en el último Nintendo Direct, si no recuerdo mal. O fue en el State of Play, ahora no me acuerdo. Este es un RPG por turnos, con estética así rollo medieval y todo eso. ¿What? No sé por qué no puedes decir conejos. ¿Qué coño está pasando aquí? ¿Qué es esto? Coming to Steam. Muy bien. Vale.
Woo, now that was the new game, Battle of the Bands. Now I can't wait for that one. That's actually being produced in part by The Living Tombstone, and we've got an exclusive music video from those guys you can check out over on IGN's YouTube channel.
You know, if IGN Expo were a battle of the bands, this would be the brief window between when each band plays and you can go buy an overpriced drink and use the bathroom and make a pee-pee.
You know what? Fortunately, you can still watch ads in the bathroom from your phone or your laptops. So take it to the toilet, y'all. Summer of Gaming continues after this quick break.
Don't take your laptop to the toilet, y'all. Don't listen to Akeem. Don't do that. That's weird. Come on.
Pero si lo hacemos todo el mundo, yo me llevo la tableta. A ver si me puedo llevarme yo el...
It's eBay. I'm trying to win something on eBay. It's an
Claro,
auction. Come
es
on
que,
now.
por
I'm trying to
favor.
get an NFT.
What are you trying to win the auction for, grossest dude? Because you already won. Haha. Catch.
Madre mía.
IGN Summer of Gaming 2021 is presented by Prime Video Official.
And on social news, me browse and Snapchat.
Show with show that matters.
Mostly. The stories and compete.
And Summer.
Wait.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to IGN Expo, part of IGN Summer of Gaming.
A whole summer of gaming, and we're dishing up hot trailers and plenty of them. Barbecue, summertime, sand, the beach, kissing under the boardwalk. All the summer stuff you love and crave that I just made up. But coming up next, we've got trailers for a Metroidvania puzzle game, a classic murder mystery, and a game where you finally get to fight Louis XVI's robot army. I hate them.
That's insane, man. You know, and we got many more on top of all of
Me
that.
encanta porque el tío este parece súper calmado, pero luego es el que más on fire se pone.
Let's check them out.
Parasite.
That weird woman we saw when we played in the woods. She has a crooked nose with a yucky wart. It's just the long grey hair that makes her look old. But she's pretty young, actually. She owns a black kitty.
She built herself a shelter out of wood and pieces of old cloth. I think it was standing on a chicken leg.
It's made of gingerbread chocolate candy and a lot of icing.
Or bones. She cooks in a big black cauldron over the fire. Probably bats.
Me quiere sonar.
Mushrooms.
She can always smell a child when it's close. You want to know if all of that was real? Well, even if it wasn't before, it certainly is now. Am I seeing things? Or did she have a hunting bow?
Vale, no, ya no me quiere sonar. Blacktail. Oh, para PC y siguiente generación. Para vosotros, jugadores. No me ha motivado esto. Ni pollo a la estrella del norte, ¿qué dices? Mira, más conejos. Este es el streaming de los conejos.
We train, we fight to push our limits. But what are yours when you have nothing?
¿Y cómo saben que va a haber siguiente generación?
And so the sheep becomes the shepherd.
Pues no lo sé.
Calling them to this fool's paradise. What do you dream of becoming?
¿A quién se lo tiene que decir?
The immortals of King Shorai will stop at nothing to preserve their immortality. Death makes no exceptions. Imagine what you could do if you were freeing a man.
You lack the conviction to do what is necessary.
Esto me recuerda al blasfemo,
So easily broken.
You continue to feed into this cycle of death. Your light doesn't deserve to fade just yet.
Porque te he hecho conejo con mala intención, Pepo. Entonces a Twitch ha dicho, no, esto no se refiere a los animalitos, sino a los otros conejos. ¿No me oyes bien? Ahora sí, vale. Que digo que como Twitch ha pensado que tú le has dicho, no has utilizado la palabra conejo refiriéndote a los animalitos, sino te referías a los otros conejos. Entonces ha dicho, a este le censuro. No tengo la culpa de que he dicho esto en la pubertad. Muy buena esa. Vale. Lo que más me gusta son las cinemáticas. Y por decir 3 veces conejos, ahora todos los juegos de conejos es como dices Candyman 3 veces. Eso es, como Beetlejuice también. Una tormenta arácnida. Qué guay. Black Skylands. Early Access, el 9 de julio. 1789, París, Francia. Esto es Next Gen, ¿eh? Veo mucho Ray Tracing.
The machines wouldn't even let me flee.
Paris burns and is lost, short of a miracle.
Es un pelín que... ¿Pero qué cojones? Steel Rising. Sí, ves, hablamos solamente para series y para PlayStation 5. Pero eso parecían los ángeles de Bayonetta, con los que peleas. Blinkbound. No, Unbound, perdón.
Now, you just saw trailers for Blacktail, Black Skylands, Still Rising, and Unbound Worlds Apart. Now, you can actually play that last one, the demo, right now on your Nintendo Switch.
And it's all a part of IGN Expo here on IGN Summer of Gaming.
Pues mira, tienes la demo en Switch, Pepo.
At IGN. Yes, and in case 4 new game reveals wasn't enough for you, we have plenty more to come. And in the past, actually. That's right, y'all. Y'all need to understand. We're living in the middle of a vast time stream of trailers right now. Can you see them, Brian? Can you see the trailers? They're all around us right now, bro.
I can, Akeem, and that's because I hit my head earlier this morning. So yes, we've got 4 more game trailers to unveil, and we're going to do that without further ado while I make sure my friend Akeem here is okay.
Oh, yes, I see them, Brian. The trailers, they're everywhere.
Han dicho que ya está disponible para bajar.
Hit your head too.
Uy, qué guay.
Time is like gravity. We are constantly falling forward without noticing it. But then, it all stopped for me.
Creo que se ven aquí.
Dear Journal, it's been a while. I think. And I am still unsure why I am talking to you when I am clearly the only one listening.
Está mal que lo diga, pero la personaje esta
Keep some sanity.
tiene buen culo, ¿eh?
Well, you are still stuck. If you are starting to lose it, please don't. That's the only way we can get back. I'm counting on you.
De momento tienen mi atención. Broken Pieces. Ah, perfecto, sale para todo. Muy bien. Así me gusta. Tiene muy buena, además ese rollo me gusta, de exploración, puzzles, historia chula.
Yes, Julia? Mars is not here.
Y luego ya si la protagonista tiene un buen culo, está
But you
bien.
always find that story scary.
Unbound.
Yes, Nanny. But I'm with you. So I know nothing can hurt me.
Oh, all right, little one.
Sí, ¿verdad?
There was once a couple madly in love.
Me ha recordado
who would
mucho a...
often stroll by a lake. But one day,
¿Cómo
in
se
a
llaman
fit
los
of
juegos estos
jealousy,
de Wii?
the man drowned the young woman. Too much love brought death.
How can
El Another Code.
also be so bad?
Que ibas descubriendo tu propia historia.
This is something.
Y tienes que hacer puzzles, hablar con la gente, tal. Y me ha recordado así, algo así.
The man confessed. So he was hanged in the middle of the very same lake where he had killed his beloved.
¿Este es el Martes D?
They searched everywhere, but the girl's body was never found. Since then, the spirit of the girl, known as the White Lady, wanders restlessly in search of relief.
No, espera, que te lo escribo,
from
Pepo.
suffering. Only the life of another young woman can give the lady a moment of peace.
That's always terrible to hear. I'll never get used to it.
You never get used to that kind of pain, my sparrow. But those in great pain can attempt to evoke the lady through a dark ritual and magic of the tarot. As the lady knows their suffering all too well, she could show them pity. Or she may not.
Marta is dead. Este es el Marta is dead que yo os decía. Estos son los cuentos de Village. Sin contar que al final no lo jugué todavía. ¿Es tan Resident Evil? ¿Qué tan Resident Evil te pareció Village? Yo ya lo dije cuando después de jugarlo. A mí yo estaba jugando un Resident Evil. Algo que no me pasó con el 7, pero con Village sí. Yo me sentía como en casa. ¿Ya? ¿Pero si mañana es sábado? Pero bueno. Madre mía. Ah, la noche es joven. Luego hay directo el de las Us. Haunted Space. Vale. ¿Que están saliendo juegos de PC?
The catastrophe of 1986 was a great gift for humanity. One of the greatest.
What are you talking about?
I could tell you things that would turn your
De las
whole life
sofás, sí.
upside down. But I don't want that.
Explorer de Exclusion Zone.
I can't have you falling apart. Don't you understand? I need you.
What are you saying?
I need you here. You're going to help me save her.
Igor.
A ver, la última vez que mezclasteis un juego con imagen real fue de Quiet Man y salió un poco regular. Así que no me mezcléis cosas. Que no, que fue Quantum Break, ¿no? Pero...
We can be together, Igor, but you have to learn the truth if you truly want to find me.
Joder, salió mal, salió rotísimo. Salió rotísimo. Y me gasté 15 pavos en eso.
You cannot succeed alone, but there are others who will help you. This is it, my
Yo todavía
love.
no sé qué coño
The
que estoy
last
viendo.
stretch. You
Que es un
can do so
survival
much for me.
está clarísimo. Pero...
Make sure you're ready, because it will take everything you have. Your wits, your strength, your plan, your companion's loyalty, everything. Good luck, my love.
Chernobyl Light.
You know what? What a fantastic show full of great new games to look forward to. I'm hyped for each and every one of them.
Espero que se pueda atacar con el violín, con el poder de la música. Si estuviera aquí Paco, estaría orgulloso.
Haunted Space and Chernobyl Life. Now, I'm personally looking forward to Sifu, since Absolver was a really unique game.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm personally looking forward to Bramble because I have some deep-seated issues with my dad that I need to work out.
Yeah, yeah. You know, well, we really went for... I think we went for like all killer, no filler this year with these trailers, which means you barely had to hear from us two. So you're welcome for that. And don't forget, y'all, E3 coverage starts tomorrow.
No, Paco no está.
That's right.
Se ha ido a
And if
ligar
you're
por ahí.
just
Me
joining
ha
us,
abandonado.
sorry you missed the entire show. Your clock is broken or something. Sort it out.
Pero ha dicho que
But
si
yes,
luego hago
Summer of
gameplay
Gaming
de The Last
continues
of Us, que
tomorrow with
viene.
the Ubisoft Forward Conference, so be sure to join us all as we break down the biggest reveals all E3 long.
Not to mention conferences from Square Enix, Xbox and Bethesda, and Nintendo Direct, all happening next week. So hit up IGN.com for a full schedule. The summer of gaming
Solo van a
continues
hacer
as
eso,
long as there's gaming
Y
in
yo voy a
your
hacer más
heart
cosas que
and,
ellos.
and Mario in your sunshine.
That is really weird, but that was also sweet.
No.
I love you for that, Akeem. Thank you
No
all
se
so much
infravaloro.
for watching.
Pero a ver,
and have a
él es
wonderful, wonderful day.
el
You're
presidente
awesome,
del
and
club de
goodbye.
fans de
Take
Yaquero
care,
La
y'all.
Manca en Andalucía.
IGN Summer of Gaming 2021 is presented by
Oye.
Army National Guard. Pursue multiple paths while you serve. Reach your greatest potential with Army National Guard.
Tenía que estar ahí.
And by the Amazon original movie, The Tomorrow War. Exclusively on Prime Video July 2nd. And powered by Duracell Optimum. The
¿Entonces esto se
official
acabó
battery
ya?
sponsor of Summer of Gaming 2021. And presented
Y en
by
La Mancha, ay, qué majo.
USAA Insurance.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have
Yo siempre estoy triste cuando no estás conmigo, Pepo, ya lo sabes.
From breaking news and
Es verdad.
exclusives, never before seen
Es verdad,
looks at
sí, sí
movies
ha
and
soportado
games,
a la señora.
let's plays and live
Es verdad,
streams.
sí, te
IGN
pido
brings you
perdón.
all the
Te
coverage
pido
you
perdón.
need, no matter where you are. Always got you.
Everybody, the developer, them.
Y Pepo también ha estado ahí, pero claro, cuando ha visto lo que había se ha ido. Ha hecho bien. Thanks for watching, vale. Pues listo. Pues nada, hasta aquí las maravillosas conferencias de ellos. Yo que hemos visto 1:30. No sé al final cómo ha terminado lo otro. ¿Habrá terminado? Sí, ha terminado. Sí, por lo menos de ING han puesto cosas interesantes. Que dices, vale, pero es que el otro... Uf. Ahora la Nintendo ya te han puesto ahí que es el martes. Mañana empezamos el E3 y empezamos con Ubisoft. Mañana solamente haré dos, ¿vale? Era la de Ubisoft y Devolver. Hombre, a ver, luego está la de Gearbox, que ahí enseñarán un poco del Wonderland. Ya. Y no sé si hacerla, pero en principio voy a hacer solamente la de Ubisoft. Ubisoft mañana, sí, a las 9. A las 10:30 es la de Devolver. Y la de Gearbox es a las 11. Pero no sé si es la de Gearbox, a ver cómo estoy. Sí, Devolver Digital. La desarrolladora de juegos, que hacen siempre unas pedazos de conferencias en el E3 que son buenísimas. Es la gente que nos trajo la maravilla de My Friend Pedro. Ya con eso tienen todos mis respetos. Ya con eso tienen todos mis respetos. Así que... yo voy a aprovechar para cenar. Y sobre las 12:30, 1:45, así, no sé exactamente cuándo. Pero en un ratito. Seguiremos jugando el de Last of Us. Y nos lo pasaremos. Venga, sí, pásalo bien. Seguramente tendrás por ahí a Duel jugando al Phantasy Star Online. Que él es muy fanboy de Sega. Y es que ya he cenado, no te puedo acompañar en el acto de la cenación. Y es que no, llevo aquí desde las 6 de la tarde. Entonces, como que no. He comido algo. He estado ayer con el DLC del Kakarot, pues vete a verle si quieres. Yo es que ya te digo, o sea, he hecho a las 6:1 el de Netflix, he hecho la guarrada de Koch Media y luego seguido he hecho esto, o sea, y tengo ya un poco el estómago vacío. Necesito comer algo. Así que nada, ya os digo que yo os veo mañana a eso de las 9. Como habrá tiempo de sobra a Mr. Kaitos, bueno, vale, si te cae mejor Mr. Kaitos. Ya te digo, yo en un rato vuelvo. Lo que pasa que igual no es un juego para ti. Y aparte que estoy ya en el final, te voy a hacer spoiler. Así que, pues eso, mañana nos vemos. Igual seguramente mañana tendremos gameplay a la tarde de The Last of Us parte 2, porque pretendo empezarlo hoy un rato y si eso seguirlo mañana a la tarde. Y nada, y poco más. Y como siempre, gracias por haber estado ahí. Estas casi 3 horas, 2 horas y 45 minutos, 2 horas y 3 cuartos. Gracias a los que lo estáis viendo en YouTube. Tenéis, si queréis, subido... Te conté lo de que si Mr. Kaitos y yo fuésemos actores para adultos seríamos Mr. Coitos y Penetrón. Venga, hasta luego, Mari Carmen. Pepo, por Dios. De verdad. ¿Y luego te quejas de que te censure Twitch? Hombre, un poquito de por favores. Pues eso, lo que estaba diciendo. Que eso, que gracias a los que estáis viendo en YouTube. Nos vemos en un ratito, o si no, nos vemos ya mañana, ¿vale? Un besazo a todos. Y nos vemos. Adiós. Te lo voy a permitir, te lo voy a permitir. El último conejo. Cuando el conejo no iba a malas. ¡Pum! Ese conejo estaba pervertido. Venga, chao, Pipotrón.